True.
I think we're on.
Live.
I think that's
we're
it.
Live.
Yes, we are. I am
live.
doubling this on. I'm streaming this through Discord and YouTube tonight to see. I'm testing things out. So for all of you that are on Discord, but the Discord gets. I know, right? But the Discord gets to see the behind the scenes, gets to see the StreamYard screen, not the YouTube screen. So I know
they get to see the real. They get to see all the things we talk about behind the scenes, like all the things we disrespect
all the shit talking that we do.
We're like, oh my god, I can't believe these people are so stupid.
We would never. Hello, everyone. My name is Natalie. Welcome to my so-called Gen X life. This is my channel, and on Tuesday nights we do my so-called book club. Joining me always is subscriber, moderator, channel member Grendelson. How's it going, Grendelson?
Hello to all intelligent life everywhere, and to everyone else out there. The secret is to bang the rocks together, guys. Bonus points if you can name that quote. Name the show that quote comes from. It is very Gen X.
Oh, all right. I will let the chat take care of that one because you stumped me.
And I actually already typed it in the chat too. So
you did? Okay.
You had to.
Rachel, we are not moving this to Discord. I'm just trying. I'm keeping Tuesday nights on YouTube. I'm just trying out with the little simulcast to Discord to see how it works. I'm trying to get to the point to where I am streaming on multiple platforms at once, but I'm trying some things out and learning some stuff as I go. So we will stay here on YouTube because I don't play stuff here on Tuesday nights. That'll get me in trouble. So
no. Unlike Friday nights where it's every 5 seconds.
Right. If y'all
no, you can't watch this clip of a 40-year-old show because we want to monetize it.
What? Right. Or we want to block you from showing it. It's like, really? Come on. But yeah, if you guys haven't
like exposure.
Yeah, I know, right? If you guys haven't switched over to Discord yet for Friday nights, it's a good time. We had a lot of fun. It's pretty good last Friday.
So much fun.
Yeah, it was good. It was kind of like a mix of Casey Kasem's top 40 and Friday night videos and just a general hangout, and it was good. It was a good time. All right.
You remember Night Flight on USA? I kind of liked that. That was
Night Flight. Oh my gosh, they have
their own website that you can actually subscribe to and watch all the old Night Flights, which I haven't done yet, but I should.
Really? Yeah, you should. Yeah. You should do that.
They had some good shit on there. They really did. I used to watch that every Friday night, and sometimes I taped it. Sometimes I would have I'd put a 6-hour tape in at 11 o'clock and let it go all night long.
Just let it run. Yes.
And you see some weird shit at 3 a.m. on USA, I'm telling you.
Yeah, USA Up All Night and USA. Yeah, they did a lot of crazy stuff. I never caught
to Up All Night as much. I could not.
Really?
No, I was not a big fan of Rhonda Shear. I didn't like her Up All Night kind of thing. I liked Night Flight because it was so, I'm not going to say I didn't watch it.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, that's one thing I miss. One thing the internet's really kind of messed up in the streaming and having everything at your fingertips 24/7. I kind of miss the old feeling of the broadcast scheduling and how things were done during the daytime, and you had your prime time and you had your overnight, and I don't know, it was just
a different world. Yeah,
it was
I'll tell you, I definitely miss late night TV.
Yeah,
I definitely miss between the hours of midnight and 4 a.m. Not just your regular TV. I mean, your late night talk shows, but I mean
all the
independent
late
stations had the weirdest shit on.
Yes.
And remember when UHF was a thing? I mean,
yes,
you had all sorts of cool crap on UHF.
That was the cool thing. That was where you could really discover all kinds of crazy things, and it was good times.
It's gone by the wayside, but I will say this, and in being able to stream an entire series is still pretty nice.
It is. I mean, I don't want to. Here, I'm gonna try to take my fan off. I got this from a channel member. They sent me a personal fan for my menopause, so thank you, Melanie. But yeah,
there you go. You know what? There's your ad links right there. You got to contact some menopause companies,
places that do those kind of products.
By the way, I'm going through menopause. I need some free crap.
Exactly. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I should do that.
And I'll tell you, men go through menopause too. I went through menopause.
Menopause.
Menopause. Yeah, it was right around the time I got divorced. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Hey, cut my balls off.
Yeah. All right.
Like the eunuch scene in History of the World.
Hello, everyone in the chat. Hello. Tonight we are diving into the second part of chapter 8 from Strauss and Howe's The Fourth Turning, the book from 1997.
Dun, dun, dun.
We are going to get into the Gen X focused portion of the book, and we got some videos to watch, lots of things to discuss. I think it's going to be a really good discussion tonight because it's all about pretty much Gen X in the late 80s and throughout the 90s. Of course,
I remember that time.
Remember that time, yeah. And the third turning.
As much as I tried to obliterate it with drugs and alcohol,
I didn't until the very end of it. And then I really, it wasn't until the late 90s that I started to experiment.
I could say I was probably a full-blown alcoholic between 91 and 98, 99, somewhere in there, maybe 2000. I think probably up until about 2000.
And you remember the 90s still, huh?
I do. Well, I don't. I wish I had one of those eidetic memories, but it's not quite that good. But it's pretty good. But I do try to obliterate it quite often. Thank you very much. I'm trying. I know. I'm trying. I want to. If I could just go in there and take out the bad and remember the good, I'd be happy.
That'd be cool. That would be cool.
Do the eternal sunshine of the spotless
mind.
Yeah,
that would be neat. That would be cool.
Just say no.
Just say that was a big part of the 80s.
Yeah.
So the third turning was 1984 to mid 2000s.
Yep.
And we dove into kind of the generalization of the time period last week at the beginning of the chapter, and this week we're going to dive into the part that focuses on Gen X. Before we do that, you sent me something in the mail that I wanted to show off to everybody.
Yes, please.
Look what Grenelson sent me. He sent me a Nelson trading card. How cool is that? From the Superstar series?
Yeah,
Superstars.
There's a company called ProSet. They started off making football cards, and they kind of went off into non-sports and stuff in the 90s. This was a very strange card set because it had everything from pop music to rock and roll to heavy metal to a lot of rap, actually.
Really?
And yeah, there's quite a bit of rap in there too. It was like 300 cards. It did not sell very well. You can still find unopened packs of it at card stores for like $1 or $2.
Yeah.
So when I do that, I will find some. I've seen them recently. I will find some for you. Nelson has 3 cards in the set. They are consecutive. So I think that one's card 83?
83.
Okay, so there's card 82 and I believe 84 as well.
Gotcha.
And they were also featured on the unnumbered promo card that they sent out before the set was actually a thing. And here's the reason. I actually remember having that promo card because I was a huge fan of ProSet at the time. I collected all of their football cards, and they were a brand new company. And so I wrote to them and got on their mailing list. Was like a big fan. I wrote about them for online stuff that I could find. And they sent me a package of the promo card. So I remember having that promo card, and now I'll get another one for you because I've seen it on eBay too. So yeah, those are from that was from eBay. I just saw it last week, and I'm like, I got to get that for Natalie.
Thank you so very much.
That is the only cards that Nelson have ever had a trading card too. So that's kind of fun. It's also from 1990.
36 years old.
And when I do find unopened packs of them, we will do live unopenings and see if we can actually pull a Nelson card, because that's the ultimate. When you can pull the card out of the pack, that is the ultimate. Oh my God, I can't believe I did that. And it might take you a whole box to do it too. Or you might get 4 in the same box. You never know.
Right,
so,
right.
Anyhow.
Well, I'm
really
so
happy it made it there.
Sweet. Yes.
It makes my heart, so so fond that you're, a
Me
big
too.
fan, and that, it's found a place in your heart. And I'm sure
It
the eBay
has.
seller was happy to get rid of it.
It will also find a place in the background of what I do. Eventually, I'm going to
And
have a studio where I can like set things out where we can see everything.
I'm telling you, also, you never know, you could get it autographed.
I know,
Get it at a
right?
show.
I'm
have
going to go to a show at some point.
one of the things I used to do as a big card trader, a card collector, is I would take my cards to sporting events. Like I would go to practice every year, Chargers training camp,
Sure.
Kings training, LA Kings training camp, and I have autographed cards from lots of people. A couple of
That's
dead guys
awesome.
too. I have a couple guys who have passed away since, but yeah, I love it. I love getting their cards autographed. They love autographing their cards.
Sure.
I have a great story about a guy who'd never even seen his card before, and I asked him to autograph it, and he was just blown away. So
how
I don't
cool.
want to bore the audience with that, but it was a really fun. And so yeah, get it autographed. If we can get Nelson to autograph it, that would just be.
We shall see. I don't know if I'll ever go down that
Although
road.
An autographed book, I think, would even be better, and that I think actually is easier to do.
Yeah,
because they might go on tour for that book.
Yeah, that's
true. Or they might do book signings somewhere.
They've been doing a lot of media for it, but
yeah.
But I don't know if they're doing any kind of
they also
bookstore tours.
Yeah, and then also if they do, even if they do a one-off, sometimes those bookstores will have extra copies of the signed books that you could just buy for the regular price. Okay. So I've done that too. Right, but authors are really fun, easy to get their books autographed. They love autographing their own books.
I bet they do. I bet they do.
I mean, I've produced a couple of things. I like autographing my shit.
Well, before we move on real quick tonight, I will be at some point tonight giving you the secret word. I don't have the Pee Wee Herman audio ready. I do apologize, but we can just all scream. I will be giving you a secret word at some point tonight while we are talking about the fourth turning. And when I give you the secret word, all you got to do is put it in the chat or put it in the comment of this video on the replay, and you will be entered into a drawing for a free copy of What Happened to Your Hair by Matthew and Gunnar Nelson, which will be our fall read here in the book club. So if you would like to win a copy of What Happened to Your Hair for this fall, when we read it, you can get your free copy. Just put the secret word in the chat or in the comments when the time comes, and I will let you know. Last week we had 11 entries: Rachel, Nicole Wade, Dan's Discourse, Joseph Tricoli, Matt Periola, Dale Glassmeyer, Gina Lodge, Fillmore Midwest, C. Sandoval, Stephanie Perry, Lobo Lady. You are all in the drawing, and you can enter every week. I'm going to be doing this until the end of the fourth turning. So,
do multiple entries get you multiple entry into the contest?
Yes.
Just want to make sure. Okay.
Yes. So you can enter
one per week though. One per week.
Yes, one per week.
Okay.
Yep.
So you could have up to what? However, 4 or 5 weeks?
We probably have like 4 or 5. Yeah, but I would say probably 5 entries.
All right.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Oh, Ramza.
So be on the lookout for the word. I will be dropping that or the word or phrase. I'll be dropping that later in the chat. Let's get to the fourth turning. How excited are we? I know I'm excited. Let me get the.
I thought we were on the third turning.
Oh, we are, but the book is the fourth turning. Don't confuse me, Grendelson.
Why? That's so fun.
I know.
Do you remember Monty Python's Confuse-a-Cat? I love that.
Oh my God.
I mean, that was a game we played with our cats. I can't remember.
Yes.
Was it Monty Python or something I did at home?
Probably both.
Probably both. I used to torment my cats.
No, don't torment your cats.
I miss my cat. I heard you talking to your cat earlier, and I was like,
"Oh, did you?"
I miss my cat.
Dale has been outside. Dale usually sits on the roof of the house, but with all the heat, he's been on the porch.
Oh, I hate it
this week.
Yeah, poor. I always feel bad for kitties in the heat because they have all that fur.
Yeah.
Poor kitty boys.
He's been living his porch life today, so he just wants.
I'm still not ready. It's been almost, well, now it's been since October, so 8 months, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not ready.
All right.
I'm not ready.
Let's get to reading. I'm going to finish up the general part of it on the actual printed page. I'm going to be starting at page 204. And we're going to read a little bit of this because I wanted to finish up this little section before we get into the Gen X part of the chapter. Because it really compares the 1984 to 1997.
Oh yeah.
It was just it shows how the world had changed in those 13 years. And so I thought this would be a good place to start.
That's that part where it goes in 1984 we had this, and then
yes.
Oh yeah, that's it. I like that part. Yeah.
And
and that's where we stopped last.
That's where we stopped last week. So see, I'm trying to do things, professionally here.
Hey, you're not getting any complaints from moi.
Okay, well,
I'm along for the ride,
Right on.
I'm just I'd go with you, and whatever works. Don't work if you don't do
it. Sounds good. Good. All right, let's get to reading. I will get started here. By the mid-1990s, pundits agreed that America was deep into a new era of lost purpose and shattered consensus. Robert Samuelson called it a fragmenting. Commentary, a balkanization. Thomas Byrne, Edsel, an era of bad feelings. And William Raspberry, an unraveling. Now half over, this unraveling has darkened the quality of American life in ways no one ever predicted. Looking back, Americans can see 1984 as a threshold year when several new trends emerged that defined the era to come. At first, these items seemed no more than passing curiosities. By the mid-1990s, however, they became overwhelming and seemingly ineradicable features of American life. In 1984, the electorate decisively endorsed an economic policy of large deficits, unchecked growth and entitlement spending, falling national savings rates, and heavy borrowing from foreigners, amid talk that this riverboat gamble would either cure the economy or force policymakers to reverse course. A decade later, fiscal excess had become a political way of life, and sluggish productivity an economic fact of life. In 1984, with Mario Cuomo's To America's speech and Charles Murray's Losing Ground, the public first learned that the gap between rich and poor was widening. A decade later, the gap had grown to yawning proportions. Yet liberals joined conservatives in doubting that much could be done about it.
And today, that gap between rich and poor is like the Grand fucking Canyon.
Yeah. They've pretty much wiped out the middle class. But it was also in the mid-90s, around 97. Well, NAFTA had just been signed in 94, 95. So the globalization really kicked into high gear in the mid-90s. So there was a lot of economic changes from 84 to 97.
Yeah.
Hello, Anna. Thanks for joining us. Hello, Jolani. Hello, Rachel. Ramza,
hello, everyone.
New people. Yes, we got some new people.
Oh, yeah.
Edward the Store, Cruise AM, A Different View. I love it. Thank you, guys.
We like new people. Tell your friends.
Crouching Taylor, Hidden Swift, Vera Cruz. Sorry I didn't give you guys all your hellos earlier, so I just want to say hi.
We're here now.
Hello. We also have a couple of people over on the Discord watching as well. Ooh. Hello to you that are hanging out with us on the Discord tonight.
Hi, Discord Z.
Hello. In 1984, Jesse Jackson launched the Rainbow Coalition, declaring America to be a quilt of many patches, many pieces, many colors, various textures. A decade later, after multiculturalism had swept the country, America seemed less a quilt than a rag rug of splitting strands. In 1984, Americans were first noticing that the conventional family was no longer the norm and premarital teen sex no longer a rarity. A decade later, married couples with children had shrunk to only 26% of all households versus 40% in 1970, and the share of sexually active 15-year-old girls had swollen to 26% versus 5% in 1970.
And what is that down to now? I
God,
wonder.
0%. I don't think anybody
2%?
under the age of 30 is having sex. In 1984, Hollywood had just invented the tech-enhanced violent action movie, and automatic weapons were still uncommon in inner cities. 10 years later, the typical child had seen 10,000 acts of TV mayhem by age 18, and the national rate of death by gunfire for children under 18 had tripled. In 1984, Peter Ueberroth turned a profit on the LA Olympiad. A few athletes earned more than the U.S. president, and Michael Jackson introduced America to a new thriller-style megastar. A decade later, the Olympics were fully professional. Some NFL players were making more in one game than the U.S. president makes in a year, and Kato Kaelin defined the celebrity circus. Oh, Kato Kaelin.
Oh, Kato Kaelin.
I was watching a reaction to the movie Clueless not long ago from some younger people, and in one of the scenes, Cher tells Josh, played by Paul Rudd, Alicia Silverstone and Paul Rudd, she calls Josh Kato because he's hanging out at their house.
Right.
And like nobody, like the young kids just don't even know what that means. And I was just like, I was thinking about making a video of all of the 90s references that young kids don't understand in movies, like, or 80s and 90s movies. There's so many references, but that was one that popped out to me, the Kato Kaelin reference. I was like, nobody, unless you were alive and watching the news in 1994, remembers who Kato Kaelin is. In 1984, a new crack cocaine epidemic was propelling youth gangs in Los Angeles, and a Chicago Tribune columnist coined the acronym NIMBY, not in my backyard, to refer to public resistance against public works. A decade later, the Crips and Bloods had spread to Utah and overseas military bases, and the NIMBY movement reached from walled-in suburbanites to small-town cyberpunks and rural militias.
Wait, what the fuck is a small-town cyberpunk?
I'm not sure. I guess maybe
is anyone in our audience a small-town cyberpunk? Please,
I mean, there were the kids in my town that were like the rebels, like the goth kids and stuff like that, and like but I wouldn't consider that cyberpunk. I was just going over
what is that. I don't.
Cyberpunk was how they described the movie Hackers when Hyberpunk,
and I mean, I know what cyberpunk is.
But I
love that genre. That's what I'm saying. I love the genre. I know what cyberpunk is. I'm trying to think
in a small town.
Yeah, what are they talking about here? I mean,
I don't know.
That is just such a strange sentence right there.
It is. Fillmore Midwest is a mid-market regular punk.
Okay, a mid-market regular punk. I mean, that I get. I mean, I know SLC punk. I heard of that. Right.
That's another movie that's in my next video. Yeah,
that's a good movie. New York punk, obviously. I know what cyberpunk is, but I can tell you something nobody else knew. People in small towns were not talking about cyberpunk in the 90s.
We weren't. I was in a small town in the 90s.
Were you reading William Gibson, and were you reading fucking Neuromancer and watching Johnny Mnemonic? And nobody knew what cyberpunk was outside of sci-fi geeks until, I'm going to tell you, 1990.
Yeah.
1999. I'm sorry, 1999. Right. And there was a movie. It was, you might have heard of it. It had a dude called Keanu Reeves.
There it is.
Yeah, that guy. Remember that guy? Yeah, he played a guy named Neo. Neo, that's right. Yeah, that was a Neo. I know. We're all remembering 1999 was the year of Star Wars. No.
It was the Matrix. I got you. I would say the only connection to cyberpunk that anybody in a small town had, in my experience in the 90s, was, like I said, the movie Hackers and that kind of, and Johnny Mnemonic. And that was kind of about it.
That's all we had until, you read some comic books, you watched Akira if you were really edgy, but no, cyberpunk was not a thing until the Matrix outside of science fiction. Not mainstream.
I need to send a message to Neil Howe and be like, what is a small town cyberpunk? Please,
I would like to know. Mr. Howe, on page whatever, because I don't know what copy this is.
204, on page 204.
Small town cyberpunk. What in the fuck were you talking about?
Yeah, that's a little weird, but we'll move on.
Yeah, let's please
We'll
go.
move on. In
Yeah.
1984, a surge in deinstitutionalized homeless vagrants prompted local governments to set up special shelters.
Yeah.
A decade later, citing compassion fatigue, many localities were evicting vagrants from public areas and building prisons at the fastest clip in history. In 1984, as states were experimenting with legalized gambling, 17 states had lotteries, 2 states had casinos, and none allowed video poker or gambling on Native American lands. 10 years later, those 4 numbers had risen to 36, 10, 6, and 24, respectively. Now, everything is gambling. Now, like, ESPN is completely sponsored by gambling sites and, like, everything. I mean,
it's so pervasive that you have a college football player who was caught betting on games that he played in.
Yep.
Got expelled, got picked up by another school. By the way, they're paying him $5 million a year to play in the NFL or in college football, by the way, not the NFL.
Yep.
Because they pay players in the college now.
I know.
And they had to, and they were going to sue to let him play because he said that well, his gambling, you know, he did gamble, but that doesn't mean he's going to gamble again.
Right. And meanwhile, Pete Rose was banned for the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Don't get me started on that. So yeah, that has really changed. I mean, used to, if you wanted to gamble at all, you had to go to Vegas or Atlantic City.
Or know a guy with the middle name of the.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
I went to Vinny the Shark.
Yeah, nice.
You know, my friends had Joey the Fish. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I remember when they brought lottery and riverboat gambling to Missouri. That all happened in the 90s, and it was a big deal.
I remember the California lottery was the 80s, and it was a big fucking deal. It was a big deal because they were like, well, 1/3 of it's going to go to schools.
I was getting ready to say that was how they pitched it. It's going to go to schools. It's all going to go to schools. It's all going to go to education.
Right. Okay. None of, you know, the educate. And we fought. It's so funny too because like it happened when I was in high school. So as the high school journalism class, that was like a big story that we followed all year, and like went to the superintendent of San Diego City Schools to talk about it. You know, it was like our big news story, like that one year. Like, where is this money going? What is it going on? And we found, even as kids, we were like, this is nothing. This is bullshit. Even as kids, we were like, none of this money is going to ever affect us. And
no, it's not. And the other thing, it never did. And the other thing is that gambling, especially lottery, really impacts low income people more than anything. And it's a way, you know, I get so frustrated. I'm like, if you would just put that $20 into a mutual fund every week, you'd have your $1 million when you retire. But it's very predatory is what I'm trying to say. It's very predatory.
I can't remember who said it, but I definitely believe and it's the lottery is a tax on stupid people. I am stupid too, because I will buy a scratcher every now and again, but I have I'll do it just for funds, you know. I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna spend $5, you know, at the most of the time it's $3. I'll buy one $3 ticket and that's it. If I want to go play poker, I will go with $100 and that's all I will spend. You know, if I go to Vegas, I will play my $50 or $100 and that's it. I have other things in Vegas I'd rather do because there's a kick-ass toy store in Vegas, and there's the pinball museum, and there's Area 15. There's all sorts of fun stuff in Vegas besides gambling. So, you know what I'm saying? So
and
gambling it's so pervasive now. The fact that you can just do it. We were talking about trading cards earlier. Now you can like fucking buy a virtual trading card pack, open it up, and if you didn't like the card you get, you can immediately sell it right back to the people who you just bought it from.
Oh.
Now you do get a real card, and then you have to have it shipped to you. But
yeah, they've messed up systems and everything. It's just, it is. Gambling is everywhere. It's such a part of our culture now that it wasn't like that when we were growing up. I mean, it was was actually a fight. It was a battle. You
actually had to go to Vegas to, you know, we had card clubs. I remember there was a card club down the street from my house. And I remember you could go in there and you had to be a member. But you could gamble in there, but it was not, you couldn't, you know, you weren't gonna make any money.
the way they did it in Missouri to bring in casinos was it had to be a riverboat gambling. It had to be a boat.
Yeah.
And so what the companies did was they built these man-made like little water lake things, and they put the boat on it and tied it up, and it doesn't move. And so basically you have to park, the parking lot on the land, and then you walk on over to the boat that's actually technically on water, but they got around it really like. It was a whole mess, but anyway, I don't want to get into the weeds on this. But the boats are beautiful.
I mean, going on the river boat, like if you're actually taking a cruise, and
right? That was kind of what
fun.
The thought was. That was what they were. That's what they sold,
that.
but they didn't do that. They tied them all to the docks.
I mean, that's what we did on our after prom cruise. We went out on the harbor and we fake gambled with with fake money.
Nice. But yeah, that's how I got it in. But it just really, I mean, when you really sit and think about just how things have changed in our lives, since the 70s, there's just been so much change and things that we just take for granted now that are just part of life, that it hasn't always been like this. Like there were fights culturally to get these things, passed and put into law that you could do this. And
I wonder what the suffragettes 100 years ago and the teetotalers 100 years ago who were fighting for prohibition would say about life now. Although they probably would be looking at us going, "Do you see, your young people aren't drinking as much."
Yeah. I think we missed the boat there, but we've messed up a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff has gone. It's just weird. It's just weird that our world's changed, and you just don't realize it. And it goes so slow, and then all of a sudden you look back and be like, wait a second. How did that happen? All right, let's see.
Where did our personal liberties go?
Yeah, by the mid-90s, more Americans visited legal casinos than attended Major League Baseball, NFL football, symphony concerts, and Broadway shows combined.
Who can afford any of those?
Yeah, it's gotten way too expensive. Way too expensive.
I mean, back in the 90s, I could still go to a baseball game for $5.
Yeah.
Believe me, I did.
Well, there's some Cardinal games you could go to for about $5 because they're giving away tickets because nobody wants to go watch them, which is crazy because the Cardinals used to be packed every game, but they've ruined so much stuff. In 1984, the nation was awash in practical self-help movements, and a Times Mirror survey tallied as many upbeats as moralists, roughly 10% of the U.S. population. A decade later, the nation was awash in spiritual movements. The Times Mirror's proportion of moralists had doubled, and the upbeat category had become so rare it was no longer used. I don't even know what the upbeats were. Upbeats as moralists. As many upbeats, but we'll keep going. Early in the
positive people, I guess. I don't know. Optimists weren't. The 90s where we were definitely entering the age of cynicism.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing is because we as Generation X are the generation of cynics.
Yes.
As we became adults, that mood was pervasive amongst pop culture.
Yeah.
For at least I would say not in the early part of the 90s, that bright and icky, like we're talking about during the live streams, 87, 91.
Right.
More like
when the grunge.
More like after Kurt died. After Kurt died, the cynicism of the 90s went geometrically higher.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Peaked right after 9/11.
So. Yes, I would definitely agree with that. Early in the unraveling, which is another name for the third turning, as people attach the prefixes post and neo to trends like these, the postmodern complexities of life struck neoliberals and neoconservatives as exciting new challenges.
Yeah.
But in time, the nation mirrored the 1980s book titled Doing Better and Feeling Worse. By the mid-90s, amid an extended economic boom, 3 in 4 adults believed the United States to be in moral and spiritual decline. Daily life had literally darkened to black, the color of the newest sports logos and luxury autos. Political rhetoric sank to the nastiest level in living memory, while sin and death metaphors crept into the national dialogue. Dan Quayle diagnosed an ethical cancer that has metastasized through all levels of society. Hillary Clinton, quoting Lee Atwater, lamented a nationwide tumor of the soul. And that was, the black color, like the darkening of everything. What was I going to say? I always see those posts online about how the world looks so colorful, like in the 70s and 80s, like with our cars. Our buildings had a lot more character, like the restaurants, McDonald's and the Pizza Huts it was, but now it's just so like everything's so gray and black and
ugly.
like, the ugly brutalist.
Yeah. Brutalism is definitely, and I like brutalist architecture in certain areas.
Sure. In certain, contexts. Yes.
Yeah. For sure. But it definitely has become pervasive. And it did happen right around those midterm elections in '94. We started that's when the separate movement, the Gingrich led movement, really brought a negative. I think. I mean, at the time I felt like this too. I felt like it was a real. They just wanted to bring down any positiveness because it was really for a certain part of it wasn't that bad. Things were great. Things were great on the coasts. We were having a good time. We had the .com bubble, which did burst, but at the time it was booming. It was booming.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the Midwest had been completely gutted by '94. All the manufacturing, all of the everything had shut down. Yeah, everything, all the plants and factories had shut down. People were losing their jobs. The drug problems got really bad. And that was happening in the 90s, when I was in high school. Unfortunately, like I said, we had like 4 factories in my hometown when I was little in the 80s. And by the time I graduated high school, they were all gone. And that was a big deal. That was a big deal. So, I mean, I think that was, it was just, but yeah, different areas were experiencing different things,
different problems,
and there was a lot of wealth and investment on the coast. Always has been, always will be. But the things that were in the Midwest or the South, that had, employed people, those factories and things and all that, the way that people, the mines, I live in an area that was built on lead mines, and like, just all that stuff had left. And so I think that's where, where the dark, for at least my part of the country, was coming from in the mid 90s.
And the real issue is that, unfortunately, that's always going to happen in an industrial society. There's always going to be better technologies that come along and supplant the previous technologies. That's fine. The problem is when you don't take that into account. And instead of improving your industrial processes and making things better and, continuing to move forward, they just shut down.
Right.
And they're like, oh, we can, and they made it so that it was cheaper to move production overseas with, of course, NAFTA. So there was no incentive whatsoever to keep manufacturing going. And, unfortunately, they just decided that dollars were more important than progress. And, this is that is the moniker of capitalism, which doesn't work because it makes sense. It's logical. If you're the CEO of a corporation, why would you keep manufacturing in a country where they're not going to support you? They're going to tax the shit out of you, and they're going to make your life difficult with regulations. Whereas you can move to another country, do it, super, super cheaper, and and drop your bottom line.
Right.
I'm not saying that that's what I would do. I'm not, obviously I don't agree with that. I'm just saying I'm like trying to play devil's advocate. This is what happened. This is why it happened.
Right.
And, it's super unfortunate that we can't get out of that, and we're never going to at this point. We're not going to bring we're not going to bring manufacturing back to the United States. It's not going to happen.
Well, not in our current global system. And
No.
basically they turned America into an economic zone instead of a country. Like we're, and instead of thinking about American citizens and their jobs and their livelihood and their wealth accumulation and all that, it was just, no, America's an economic zone. We're going to send jobs over here, and because it's cheaper, we don't have to pay these high wages. And then we'll just turn Americans into consumers, and we'll give them jobs in front of a computer or whatever.
Or the service industry.
Thank you, Reprimanda, for my congrats on the 100K. I appreciate that very much. But the thing is, we're getting ready to go through it again with AI.
I know.
And so it's like, as far as like replacing jobs and things.
Yeah, I think the difference though is that the backlash on AI is going to be much, much, much stronger, and it's not.
I hope so. I think you're right.
It's going to fail miserably. And I mean, the worst that can happen is we get Skynet, What's the best? And I don't see any upside. So yeah, it's not going to happen.
This is a really good point, Anna. I think our generation felt very abandoned because all those jobs that had given our parents, had given them a good living, had allowed them to buy a house, buy a car, maybe send a kid to college, or just live in the middle class. All of those jobs that allowed our parents to do that were just shipped overseas. And so it was like, either you had to go to college and get a corporate job, or you were working at McDonald's. Like there was no in between.
But also, let's just say this: there's nothing wrong with working at McDonald's.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
You have to eat the food. Listen, I'll buy a Happy Meal. Okay, I like the Happy Meals. They come with good toys.
Hey, they brought back the fried apple pies for 4th of July for America 250. So yeah, definitely. But yeah, like it's we did feel abandoned, and I actually have a clip about that. If you guys, we can watch it now if you'd like.
Let's do it. Let's clip it, because you know what? Also, honestly, I was starting to bring myself down there. So,
no, I don't want to bring you down.
No. I know. It's just that I feel. You can tell I feel deeply about these subjects,
Yeah.
And
I do too.
And it's good to actually have the intelligent back and forth that we have, so that we can, like, because I'm sitting here learning things about, like you made a great point. The manufacturing was gone, and I didn't see that. And even now I'm seeing it as like, yeah, that's what happens in manufacturing, but that doesn't make it right, and it doesn't make it easy to swallow.
No.
And so you have to kind of like figure out, why did they do it that way, and also, try and see that there's all sorts of sides to these things, which I don't see. I mean, I know the manufacturing went away, but how it affected actual people. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't affect just people. It affected communities, towns. Like, I mean, there's towns around me in my area that are completely almost abandoned. Cairo, Illinois is a really famous one that's not too far away from me. That used to be like a major hub, and now there's nothing there. And it happened all across the Midwest, from Michigan to Wisconsin to Iowa to Illinois to Missouri to Arkansas to Kansas, Indiana, all of us. I mean, we just got wiped out, and then
got hammered.
And then Appalachia got wiped out from all the mining,
mining
and everything. And it's just,
I mean, let's face it though. I mean, coal mining should have gone away a long time ago.
Well, we got to find new ways to, but it's just,
and the coal and we had a lot of labor strife. Okay.
Yeah, we did.
There's a great movie called Matewan. You should see it.
This video that I'm going to show, this is one that actually I made very early on in my channel. The video is called "What is Generation X?" It's complicated.
Yeah.
We're going to listen to a little bit of Douglas Copeland, who was the author of the book Generation X. And this is an interview from 1991, right after his book came out. And it's a boomer, or maybe even a silent gen interviewer, trying to figure out who Generation X is, and it goes into this whole we felt abandoned. And so let's watch a little bit of the interview with Douglas Copeland from 1991. Douglas Copeland was born in 1961. So people would consider him a boomer. Generation Jones, Gen X. He considered himself Gen X. Yeah. So let's hear what he has to say. It wasn't until the late 1980s that the term Generation X made its debut in American culture. Author Douglas Copeland, born in 1961, wrote the novel Generation X, Tales for an Accelerated Culture, about a group of friends living together in Southern California around the year 1990. By 1991, the media was starting to notice this group of 20-somethings who were definitely not baby boomers, had been raised by television, and were too young to remember the JFK assassination, the moon landing, and maybe even Watergate. And as they struggled to find a name for these slackers, Copeland's Generation X began to stick.
They're called the Lost Generation, the Baby Busters, those who were born between 1961 and 1971. By many accounts, this post-baby boom generation is struggling. They apparently feel the older baby boomers have taken all the good jobs and all the good real estate. They have trouble leaving home, finding careers, and committing to relationships. They are angst-ridden, a bit bitter, and their chief talent seems to be the ironic aside.
Really quick, the audio on this isn't great. This is the only copy of this interview I could find, so I apologize for the audio and the popping, but that's all I could find.
Writer Douglas Copeland describes their dilemma in his first novel called Generation X, Tales for an Accelerated Culture. Douglas?
The Generation X, or the X generation, it is, I suppose you call it a splinter generation from the baby boom at large, which demographers say begins about 1945 and goes to 1965. That's more than 100 million people. And it's almost too much to expect everyone born in 20 years to share similar ways of thinking and seeing the world. And I've noticed through my own experience in talking to people, and I talked to a lot of people for research, that about 1957 or 1958, there's a real schism in the way the world is perceived. The earlier generation, I call them the Jane Fonda or Steven Spielberg generation of baby boomers.
The gee whiz, we can affect everything generation.
Certainly, yeah. They, and Joni and Woodstock and Peace and Acid, they see the world in the first person plural. It's a we generation, and we see it this way. And after about 57, 58, up to about 1970, after which you have a group I call the Benetton Youth, or the Young Republicans in Love, you have the X generation, which sometimes is called 20-something. I think that's a misnomer, because in a few years we're going to be mid-30-something, late 20-something. They're very much the individual generation. I refuse to say that we see the world this way, or us. That's not fair. I speak for myself and not for someone, Susan, who lives in Iowa City, Iowa, or Dave in Sacramento. It's very much, it's almost like the ultimate extension of what happens when you give people unlimited access to individualism.
I want you to set me straight. If whining is unfair, it's where's my piece of the pie? Where is this?
I think what we're seeing is calling whining is maybe actually a birth cry or a birth pain. 2 years ago when I was selling the book, there was not even 20-something was not even a word back then. And I encountered an extraordinary amount of opposition, even to the fact that this generation might exist. And I was very lucky in finding St. Martin's to publish the book.
Did your generation grow up without any barriers, boundaries, without any parameters? Were there not enough rules so that at least you had rules to break?
Unfortunately, there were no real rules to break. The rules had all been broken by then. So it was an arbitrary culture, or no grounding. And it was a culture of divorce, Pacer automobiles, Jimmy Carter. Just there is this awareness, there's this new awareness of this being a group, a separate entity. And it's like just waking up and, oh boy, this is our situation. And humans, which is healthy, and humans being humans, of course, the tendency is to complain a bit.
If you are not the make love, not war generation, and if you are not the drug generation,
no,
what is the defining characteristic of your generation?
I think irony, a tendency to
Fuck
make
you, that's the defining
media-based jokes, Scooby-Doo jokes. But Scooby-Doo goes, hello? Like that. And we will find that perhaps amusing. And also, if I ask you a question, you give me a wrong answer, I'll go, like you just lost on Family Feud. And that's the way we format our world, because when our brains are being molded, we watch TV, and that's how we formatted it. Real inability to commit to relationships. I mean, I know people who've been going out for 10 years now and have just announced their engagement, and even then they won't be getting married for another 3-4 years.
Why does that happen? What are they afraid of?
Divorce. Clothing from the Gap and Banana Republic, which is generic, label-free, like clothing you might see illustrated in the dictionary. I noticed record collections. Most people who are X generation are fanatic about alphanumerically encoding their record collection by style, genre, artist. And if you want to drive them nuts, you simply misfile one of their Clash albums and they'll go berserk. It's stability.
Touch my Clash album and I'll kill you,
There's
bitch.
a definite perception that unless this generation
No one touches my
takes
Clash
care
albums
of the world, then it's going to be lost, because the generation that comes after us, and that's just a generational conceit, doesn't seem too concerned about history or the past, and nor does the generation before.
Douglas, you just told me you wouldn't have to take a mech job.
Here we go.
A mech job, that's
What is
right.
a mech job?
Well, I define a mech job in the book as let me get it correct, a low
Barista at
prestige,
Starbucks.
low dignity, low pay, no future job in the service sector,
Barista at Starbucks.
which is frequently considered a just wonderful career opportunity by people who have maybe never had to have one. The X presence is very strongly being felt in the workplace right now.
I hear a little bitterness in all of this, because these are the college graduates who feel
You hear
that the
bitterness
future is
because
not
you're
only
a
problematic,
bitch.
it's just downright difficult.
This
Well,
woman is such
it's a numbers game. There simply are more people.
This is a generational divide, and you can totally see it in this interview.
Oh my
She
God,
just
could
doesn't
she
get it.
Could she
know.
be any more hostile to him?
I know, right? She is skeptical as hell, and
does not believe a word he is saying.
Well, yeah, and it's interesting because he's telling her the only jobs that we can get are these service jobs. Like, there is, all of the manufacturing is gone. It's only service, either service jobs or you go to college and you can get some kind of profession, and
you
like
can join the rat race.
Yeah, and that's it. And yeah, she is clueless and hostile.
She's
This was
definitely clueless
she
and
was a
hostile.
CBS News person. Like, this was a
Is that
CBS News Watch.
Is that Jane Pauley?
No, it's not Jane Pauley. I don't know who this
Okay.
lady is. I could not find her name.
Okay, all right.
But,
I didn't think it was Jane Pauley, but I thought
yeah.
for a second it might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. She is totally.
Well, you see, Karen. Yeah. So we'll keep going, because I played quite a bit. I found this interview fascinating.
I love
people ahead of them. It means downsizing your expectations of 2 cars in a garage to maybe 1 car on street parking.
If those are your expectations, if those things are important to you, then it's very difficult if you're in your 20s to all of a sudden be downsizing your expectations. But you write this book and you talk about the haves. You're not really talking about the have-nots. There are a lot of have-nots in the Generation X.
It's composed maybe 90% of have-nots, and maybe 40% of never-will-haves. And this is relevant only in the context that they were raised with the expectation of being a have for the rest of their life.
Not long after Copeland's novel was published, authors William Strauss and Neil Howe developed their Strauss-Howe generational theory, and they named Generation X 13ers, or the 13th generation. They go into major detail about this post-baby boom generation in their books Generations and 13th Gen, Abort, Ignore, Retry, Fail. If you find this kind of thing interesting, I cannot recommend their books enough, especially
us
the
on Tuesday night.
1997 book, The Fourth Turning, which predicts the
one
future
we're reading
in ways
right
that will blow
now.
your mind. And it's all based
Oh my
on
God,
a
it comes full
generational
circle.
theory that describes a recurring generation cycle in both American and Western history. According to their theory, historical events are associated with recurring generational personas or archetypes, and each generational persona unleashes a new era they call a turning that lasts about 20 years.
Pick
And
one
in
for
each
you,
turning,
recommend it.
a new social, political, and economic climate exists. I'm actually going to do a video about this in the future. So here's Strauss and Howe.
I'm actually going to have a
13th
whole book club in the future.
Yeah, exactly.
Where
Well,
we
that's
talk
what
about this every week because I love it so much.
this book club actually came from this comment I made in this video, because I didn't want to make just a video about it. I was like, I think it'd be better to like actually read the books and discuss it with people.
Well, there you go. That's the secret origin of book club.
It is the secret origin of book club.
You heard it there.
GG555TT, you're not going to believe this, but I am currently finishing up my second half of my 90s Gen X movies video, and I just clipped Party Girl with Parker Posey because it is in it. It is in there. It is in there.
Oof, I love Parker Posey so much.
Yeah, I know, right? She's great. But yeah, so Gen X was feeling left behind and left out. Even back then, even in 1991, the boomers were holding on to the jobs, holding on to the wealth, holding on to everything. And we were like, hey, can we possibly get involved here? And they were like, nah, it's good.
And they were just about to take the White House.
So we literally just got cut out of anything in our society, in our cultural discussions, in our political discussions. We just got ignored completely. And it just continued up and through the new millennium when the millennials came up into adulthood, and X just got completely ignored. And in a way, we're not mad about it, but in other ways, it's like, come on, it's like we didn't get anything, and it's just like, I don't know. It's a weird. We're the middle kid, we're the middle child, we're the sandwich, we just get completely looked over. But there you go. There you go.
By the way, Douglas Copeland is a Renaissance man. Did you know he was a humongous artist? Like,
I did not.
He does these huge sculptures.
Really?
And that's what he was trained for. Not only does he written a dozen or so books, but yeah, he's had shows all the way back into the 80s. He's got this on his Wikipedia page. There's a picture of a digital orca. It's in Vancouver. The thing's huge.
Oh, wow.
It looks like a Minecraft orca. And then he's got these other ones. There's a big sculpture monument to the War of 1812 in Toronto. It looks like these two huge toy soldiers, and one of them's like knocked over. Really cool stuff, man. I didn't realize until I just did the old Wikipedia on
Wikipedia search.
I'm listening to the interview, and I'm like, he's Canadian, and I was like,
yes. He's 65 now, which is wild. I probably should try to find a more recent interview. I wonder if there's more recent interviews with him about this book, just to get his, take on things 30 years later. Would be kind of interesting. But I'll have to look for that. I don't know if that's out there or not.
He wrote another one called Generation A in 2009.
Really?
Yeah, it says published it. In terms of style, it mirrors the structure of Generation X as it champions the act of reading and storytelling as one of the few defenses we still have against the constant bombardment of the senses in the digital world. The novel takes place in the near future after bees have become extinct and focuses on 5 people from around the world who are connected by being stung.
Huh. Wow, that's interesting.
That sounds fascinating.
That's very interesting. That's very unique.
That was a 2009 book.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
That one.
Back to the book at hand.
Hey.
A series of jolts propelled this new mood, the tumor of the soul, the ethical cancer mood. The 1987 stock crash and ensuing Wall Street scandals cut short the jovial talk about the greed is good yuppie. The Cold War and Desert Storm victories produced a new world order that felt ephemeral and disquieting.
New
The collapse,
World Order.
and that was the first time. I know that we were involved in stuff in the 80s, but that was the Gulf War and everything was definitely the first time in my life of even knowing about Iraq and Iran and Saudi Arabia and just the Middle East in general. And Gen X was sent over there. So that's another thing. Another thing is that Gen X fought that war.
We declared war. Desert Storm started the day before I turned 20.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, what a great birthday present. Thanks.
Yay.
Let's go to war. Woo-hoo!
Let's do it. Yay. And then we went back 10 years later and stayed for 20. So, it's just
have fun, Reprimanda.
Yeah.
Enjoy the game. Oh, I was hoping you would stay and give us updates because I can't watch.
Oh, no.
I'm kind of curious. It's going to be a good game, Mexico versus Ecuador, and it's in Mexico City.
Oh, wow.
And
I haven't paid any attention to the
World
Cup.
Good World Cup in terms of in terms of competitiveness and good matches and people actually behaving themselves. It's been a really good tournament so far. I'm amazed and I'm cool. I'm into it. US plays tomorrow night at 5.
Sweet. I'm gonna have to check that out.
It's gonna be a big deal. Oh, it's gonna be a big deal because it's the knockout round. So
okay.
Win or go home. So
I'll definitely have to check that out.
You're playing Bosnia Herzegovina.
Oh, there's another thing from the 90s.
I know, right? Remember that? Bosnia Herzegovina.
Oh yeah, the whole Bosnia thing.
It used to be called Yugoslavia.
Yugoslavia. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't got that no more. Remember the Yugo?
Yep. I think we saw one on a game show the other night when we were watching it on the Discord. I think the Classic Concentration had a Yugo, or maybe it was.
So they gave away a Yugo? No.
Yes, they did. They did.
I could see them giving it away on the Gong Show as a booby prize.
There was about 6 months where the Yugo people bought them until they bought them and realized what kind of craft they were. Then it went downhill. I knew somebody that at my church that drove a Yugo when I was little.
That's the one thing I never knew anybody who drove a Yugo. I knew people who drove Pintos, Pacers. I used
Corvairs.
I remember seeing Corvairs on the road.
Yeah,
I'm that old. So
yeah, awesome. The collapse of healthcare reform confirmed that America no longer had faith that big institutional solutions could solve public problems. The whipsaw elections of 92 through 96 accelerated the realignment of national politics. One thing that they didn't mention was the 92 election was a 3-way election, which was our most recent 3-way election. I'm surprised they didn't at least mention it, but I don't remember seeing it mentioned at all. The Oklahoma City bombing revealed maniacal passions seething just beneath the surface. The Simpson trial and Million Man March evoked a sullen new racialism. With each jolt, yet another piece of the old order lay in disrepute. Its workings less respected, its directions less tolerable, its outcomes less predictable. The 1990s are generating plenty of what in other eras would pass for good news. The economy perks along, the stock market roars, school achievement is going up, the crime rate down. While the U.S. reigns as a sole superpower in a multilateral world, American culture is spreading all over the globe. The big hand on the atomic scientist doomsday clock, which hit 3 minutes to midnight in 1984, has since retreated. Yet Americans are more pessimistic than ever. They are inclined to believe that any good news, like a roaring stock market, comes with a sinister edge, big layoffs, for which a price will someday be paid. Oh.
By the way, the doomsday clock is currently set at 90 seconds before midnight.
I was getting ready to say, I think it's about a minute and a half. Yeah. Which
like 85 seconds, something like that.
Yeah. The new declinism has become unshakable. I'm going to go ahead and stop it right there and get into let's skip down just a little bit. The unraveling mood shift is a natural consequence of the life cycle transition taking place among the generations. The confident team-playing GIs were weakening. The other focused, compromise-minded, silent were vacating midlife. Boomers were exiting young adulthood after having embroiled it in self-discovery, argument, and the new social pathologies. The departure of 13ers, or Gen Xers, from childhood left people of all ages, themselves included, wondering what went wrong there. New millennial babies are being born. America is moving into an archetypal constellation that is reaching an apogee of inner private power and a nadir of outer public power. All right. So that is the general of the 90s or the 80s and 90s third turning. All 7 third turnings have followed a similar path of social entropy and disintegration. The awakening complete, people are now fully immersed in their own purposes. Again, this was written in 1997. The new social priority is to atomize, not to gather. People are harvesting, not sowing. Underneath, a new values regime grows and spreads. As large official entities continue to weaken, small, informal ones revitalize. All right, let's get down to the Gen X of it all.
No, of course, the Simpson trial wouldn't have happened without Rodney King. Wouldn't have happened. None of that would.
As alienated nomads replace profits in young adulthood, they become brazen free agents, lending their pragmatism and independence to an era of growing social turmoil. Nomads come of age in a society strong in choices and judgments, but weak in structure, guidance, or any sense of collective mission for young people. Lacking a generational core, they are defined by their very social and cultural divergence. Aware that elder leaders don't expect much from them as a group, they feel little collective mission or power. Yet their accelerated contact with the real world gives them strong survival skills and expectations of personal success. Acting as individuals, they take entrepreneurial risks and begin sorting themselves into winners and losers. Their culture develops a frenetic, hardened quality, provoking next elder prophets to accuse them of lacking a principled inner life. Young nomads shake off these criticisms and do what they must to get by.
It's like our ethos.
Yes.
We survive.
Yeah. Do you want to take this next little bit? I need to go get another beverage.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see if I can get it. Let me make it a little bit smaller so we can get. Can you read all that?
I have my own copy.
Oh, you have your own copy? All right. Yeah. So do that paragraph right there, and I will be right back. I need to get a beverage.
Yeah.
Yeah. A wicked and perverse generation is how. Yeah.
A wicked and perverse generation is how the young Quaker Josiah Cole described New England's renegade youths during the 1650s. To older immigrants, writes historian Oscar Handlin, the second generation seemed a ruder, less cultivated, and wilder people. During the French and Indian Wars, George Washington's peers registered a seismic jump in drinking, gambling, crime, begging, and bankruptcy, prompting historian William Pencack to describe the liberty as young people with nothing to do and nowhere to go. A century later, in an era of declining college enrollments, the targets of elder critics were Mark Twain's Gold Rush boys, in whom George Templeton Strong was struck by so much gross dissipation and redeemed by so little culture. Historian Richard Hofstadter remarks that the Gilded grew up as a whole generation of Americans who wanted things dreadfully and took them. Just after World War I, Stephen Carter admitted that magazines have been crowded and with pessimistic description of the younger generation. Randolph Bourne defended his lost peers from elder moralists by noting that they were the logical reaction to parental neglect. While it is true we do not fuss and fume about our souls, he explained, we have retained from childhood the propensity to see through things and to tell the truth with startling frankness.
Yeah. The way they describe our generation is just is really impressive, to be honest. Especially coming from a couple of boomers. Which is why I subscribe to this theory so much. Not just for their cyclical, worldview of how things work, but just and these archetypes are just they hit. They're just so spot on. Yeah, it's pretty incredible, and which is why I think they do such good work. It's why I like them so very, very much. Yeah.
I also it also boggles my mind when people are like start to give them backlash too. It's like, are you paying attention?
Yeah, you know,
or the biggest criticism I always hear about generationology is that, well, I'm not like that.
Right. Have you heard the term generality? Have you heard the term averages? Have you heard it's like there's
the word anecdotal experience?
Yes.
Do you know the difference between subjective and objective?
Right. I know, right? All right, guys, time for the secret word of the day. If you would like to win your own copy of What Happened to Your Hair by Matthew and Gunnar Nelson, I'm going to give you a word. I'm going to give you a word to put into the chat, or you can put it into the comment section of the video replay. Tonight's word, if you'd like to win a copy, we will be reading this fall. Tonight's word, or phrase, I should say, is Ozzie and Harriet. So put Ozzie and Harriet into the chat or into the comment section. You can do it over on Discord as well, YouTube or Discord. If you're watching this on Discord, put Ozzie and Harriet into the chat or into the comment section, and you will be entered into a drawing for a free book for our fall book club read. There you go.
Ozzie and Harriet.
Yes.
For those of you who do not know, that was a 1952 to 1966 sitcom.
Yes.
On the ABC network that starred the real life Nelson family.
Yes.
Ozzie, O-Z-Z-I-E, by the way. Nelson and his wife Harriet with their sons David and Ricky. Ricky Nelson happens to be the father of Matthew and Gunnar.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why we are talking about this.
Yes. And they play a big part. Their story is told in Matthew and Gunnar's book as well. So they go back and tell you a lot about the family before they get into their own story, a little background. So it was the first television show in history to last 10 years. Yeah. Yeah. They filmed it from their own house. And people showed up to their house to find Ricky. There's a story in the book about that. But yeah, you don't have to spell it right. It's nice if you do, but I'm not going to get on to you. But Ozzie and Harriet is tonight's phrase. So I will go through and put all of your entries into the onto the page that I have set up, and we'll do a random drawing at the end of the summer and give away 5 copies of What Happened to Your Hair. So there you have it, and there you are.
Oh man, they're all buried out in Forest Lawn. I should go out there and take some pictures for you.
You should. That would be awesome.
I could go visit my grandmother too, but I don't want to.
Oh, gotcha. Well, then just go visit Ozzie and Harriet.
Yeah, she's buried there too. But
I was watching an episode of Love. I was watching an episode of Fantasy Island the other day, and Harriet Nelson was on there as a guest star, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's Harriet!"
Oh, nice! Oh, wow!
Yep. Yeah, so I am like laser focused on anything Nelson that pops into my world. I'm like, oh, I'm a bit of a nerd. Okay.
Yeah, I remember watching it when the Disney Channel first came on because it was on like every night.
Yeah, it was on Nick at Night as well. Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, my mom, she had that thing for Ricky Nelson. So, you know, every time, you know, she would just be like, oh, I hope Ricky's going to sing tonight. You know?
Yep. They made him the original teen pop star.
Teen pop star. And, you know, he could sing too. I mean, Traveling Man.
Yes, he
Come
could.
On. We should get that going.
And then he got and then he got into the like the country rock folk type stuff.
Yep.
And really good stuff. Garden Party.
That's right. I told you I saw him live.
That's right, you did.
Yeah. It's like 82 or 83, something like that. I could find out.
That would be like not long before he passed away.
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
All right. Page 233 in the written text. In the online text, it's page 295 on the one that I have here from the Internet Archive.
August 85.
August 85.
That's what
That
it
was
says.
That was 3 months before he died. He died December 31st, 1985.
That's what this says here. I saw mid-August 85, and I'm like, yep, that was the concert.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
Lucky.
It's such a sad story. And we're going to read all about
really
it.
Was.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
going to read all about it.
Let's save it for them. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yep, that's all right. Okay, here we go. 13ers entering young adulthood. Top Guns. Now, one thing you're going to really notice when we read through this is they define our generation as 1961 to 1981. And so they are going to include a lot of early 60s babies in this definition and in what they're talking about, which is why I like their theory more than 1965. I think that there's early 60s babies that definitely should be a part of the generation. Here we go. Right at the beginning. America's college class of 1983, which would be 1961 babies, right? That's 22. America's college class of 1983 came with a new label, the first official welcome of their coming of age generation. Around the time of their graduation, the U.S. Office of Education published Nation at Risk, describing the nation's student population as a rising tide of mediocrity, whose learning will not surpass, will not equal, will not even approach those of their parents. This diatribe became the first in a flurry of reports, studies, and books, keynoted by Alan Bloom's The Closing of the American Mind, that castigated America's new youth as mindless, soulless, and dumb. In their caustic "What do 17-year-olds know?", Diane Ravitch and Chester Finn answered, "Not much." Grading
dicks.
news.
I think they were dicks.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Hold on, I got a cough. Milk went down the wrong way. Hold on.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
I know. Grading youths in 29 subjects. Whoops. They dished out 20 Fs, 8 Ds, and 1 C-. Damn. They did not like the younger generation. They graded us all Fs, Ds, and a C-.
I know, that's the thing. They hated us.
They really did. They really, really did. Through the early unraveling years, recent graduates heard older writers and columnists call them a nowhere generation, a tired generation, a generation of animals, a high expectation, low sweat generation, an army of Bart Simpsons, armed and possibly dangerous. Russell Baker decried their herky-jerky brain and indifference to practically everything on the planet that is interesting, infuriating, maddening, exhilarating, fascinating, amusing, and nutty.
Fuck Russell Baker. That guy's a jerk.
Yes, he is. Youth-targeted films like The Breakfast Club, St. Elmo's Fire, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, scripted adolescents to confirm these elder judgments. In Pump Up the Volume, Christian Slater's Hard Harry dismissed his peers as a why bother generation. As novelist David Levitt has observed, mine is a generation perfectly willing to admit its contemptible qualities. In the early 90s, as Wayne and Garth chanted, "We're not worthy," and Beck sang, "I'm a loser, baby," America's 20-somethings begrudgingly settled on the label Generation X. This is the first time that Strauss and Howe actually used the term Generation X in their writings. Before this, we were 13ers. America's 20-something begrudgingly settled on the label Generation X. I wonder who really landed on that. I mean, I know Copeland called us that, but like, who decided, yep, that's it. That's what we're going to call him. I wonder how that stuck.
I mean, it was all these things. It's just like it's just like a whole bunch of, this is what majority of us thought, that it was a better label than 13ers or slackers. I mean,
yeah.
Or the MTV, that was the other, a lot
MTV
of us were
generation.
MTV generation,
Yep.
Generation X made it sound a little, I guess, better. And
Yeah.
I'll say, yeah, the Malcolm X thing had something to do with it too.
Probably. Yeah.
I think so. I mean, it did make the X freaking cool. You know?
Yep. Absolutely. I mean, I like the name. I think it works. Oh, here we go. It even says Malcolm X here. Like so much of the new youth culture, this term was a pop derivative. Somebody wrote a book about 1960s era British mod teenagers.
Yeah.
Billy Idol
Billy
named
Idol.
his band for the book. The term became a Canadian youth cachet, and along came Douglas Copeland's defining title. After the 1992 film, Malcolm X landed X logo merchandise on black kids' caps and shirts. Southern white kids began wearing t-shirts to match. You'll wear your X and I'll wear mine. Soon the letter was everywhere. I just answered my own question.
And then also remember we started to get extreme. Remember the extreme 90s with the X Games?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I volunteered for the X Games. When they came to San Diego. Yeah, the first couple of years they were in San Diego, I worked for the X Games.
Oh, was cool!
Fun. Yeah, it was.
I bet
the X Games. It was a lot of fun. And that was exactly that was the time period of those festival kind of things.
Yeah. It was all focused on us. I mean, that was our extreme sports. That was
totally. I mean, it was anybody who was older than 40 at that thing was like out of place,
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell are you doing here? You're an old fogey. What are you doing? What you even get? Do you know what a vert is? I mean,
right.
Tony Hawk? Come on.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. It was all us. That was all us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The extreme, I definitely think the X had something to do with just because it could mean so many different things, but the Generation Extreme I thought was pretty cool too.
Yeah. It was a good name. It worked really, really well. And I thought it was also interesting, especially in that Douglas Copeland interview. He said 1961 to 1971. He thought that after that, there was a whole new generation from the 70s to the early 80s, which I thought was very interesting because in a way he was right, because we kind of, not maybe with the years, but, there are different parts to Generation X.
Yeah, for sure. We always, my belief is that there's 3 cohorts to every generation. You've got your early, your core, and your cusps.
Yep.
You got your 2 cusps and you've got your core. And, I think each one of them within a cohort could have its own micro generation label, even though
100%.
I don't like to call them a micro generation.
Right.
But we call early Gen X can easily be called Gen Jones because that's what they called themselves originally. And that will describe anybody from 1960 to 1964 or 5.
Right.
Even regardless, anybody who's, 65 to 75, that's definitely core Gen X, and 75 on, you're a cusper.
Zennial,
you're an Xennial, right?
Yep, that's right.
I don't know what they're going to call millennial Gen Alphas. I have no idea what that is because there aren't very many of them.
Yeah, you mean millennial Gen Z cusps?
Yeah. Well, any of those other cusps.
Yeah.
Really, I kind of, because I don't see what the different. Because I'm not in those cohorts, I don't see what the different cohorts, like I couldn't see any difference between, an early millennial and a late millennial. Whereas they definitely will have a difference. They'll have
I would definitely see, because the early millennials still had depending on where you lived, still had a gasp of an analog of a childhood. But they were still very small.
Pre-cable, right?
Right. They remember the 90s.
Yeah. They remember pre-internet, probably.
Yeah. They remember before 9/11. Like they have a life before 9/11. The younger millennials were little kids when 9/11. And then the other thing that you would have to bring in is social media and the iPhone. How tech really can section off the younger generations by the tech that was adapted, what they lived with. By the time you get to, I would call Gen Z the ones that have never lived without an iPhone in their lives, or a smartphone of some kind. So
I mean, my kid is 2006, so definitely Gen Alpha, right towards the beginning of Gen Alpha.
Gen X is the coolest of them all.
We are the coolest generation.
Everybody wants to be a Gen Xer. That's why
Everybody does want to be a Gen Xer. Go to the Gen X subreddit and I can't tell you how many millennials post in the Gen X subreddit. I feel like I'm a Gen X, not a millennial. I'm like, yeah, you're born in '84. You're a Gen X. You're a millennial.
Yeah. But you're also a Zennial if you're born in '84. That's why we have That's why we have Gen Jones and Zennials because Zennials don't want to be millennials and Gen Jones don't want to be boomers. Everybody wants to be Gen X. And there will be T-shirts coming. I am making T-shirts that says something along those lines. Everybody wants to be Gen X.
Everyone does want to be Gen X. We did have the best music.
Yep. Seizing the new generational discovery, a barrage of media began portraying everything X as frenetic and garbagey. In their own lyrics and manuscripts, young people maintained the facade of self-denigration they had already learned in childhood, with a touch of ironic malice. Our generation is probably the worst since the Protestant Reformation, said a college graduate in Metropolitan.
When Subaru, movie, by the way.
Yeah, when Subaru showed an ersatz grunger selling supposedly punk rock cars, the ad failed. Asked to buy a car decked out in their own culture, young people refused. What you gonna do when they come for you? Sang the theme song of Cops. Bad boys, bad boys. Bad as I want to be, Dennis Rodman chimed in. Nobody's really got it figured out just yet, Alanis Morissette sings in her album Jagged Little Pill. And indeed, many of her peers resist any effort to define their generation. Today's youth, 1997, often regard their own circles of friends as too diverse to be thought of in collective terms. To them, X stands for nothing or everything, or as Kurt Cobain sang, oh well, whatever, never mind. Compared to any other generation born this century, theirs is less cohesive, its experiences wider, its ethnicity more polyglot, and its culture more splintery. Yet all this is central to their collective persona. From music to politics to academics to income, today's young adults define themselves by sheer divergence, a generation less noble for its core than by its bits and pieces. As the 90s have progressed, young adults have asserted more control over their own image. The generational TV shows have taken X from the glitzy Beverly Hills 90210 to the atomized Melrose Place to the ersatz community of friends, whose cast resembles the people who watch these other shows. Many of the storylines depict youths as non-committal, unattached, brazen about sex and work, obsessed with trivial things, and isolated from the worlds of older people or children. In film, young directors explore their peers' disjointed alienation, sex lies and videotape, bodies, rest, and motion. In a disappointing youth economy, Clerks, Reality Bites, and a life that seems to lead nowhere, Slackers, Singles, Dazed and Confused, amid a culturally splintered world, Boys in the Hood, El Mariachi, Just Another Girl on the LRT, full of exploitive sexuality, Kids, My Own Private Idaho, and remorseless violence, Natural Born Killers, Pulp Fiction, Menace to Society, Doom Generation. These films often have no beginnings or endings or any right things to do, or older mentors who aren't cartoons or any environment that isn't what Robert Rodriguez calls spare and tough. What they do have is lots of drugs, alcohol, violence, moving around, boredom, meaningless sex, social chaos, and personal directionlessness.
Woohoo! I love all those things. Also, I believe that whole thing of movies up there wasn't those are all the movies that you're going to do for the video, right?
There's a lot of movies in the, yeah.
I'm like, didn't we talk about all those?
We did, pretty much.
Gone in this book right here.
I have.
There's your video.
Yeah. I might have to bring an excerpt out of this.
I think you are. I think you put a little excerpt in here. It's like, and by the way, these aren't just movies that we came up with that don't have any impact. Here's the impact right here in a scholarly work.
Yeah.
You know, where we're mentioning.
And this was before Fight Club and Office Space. So if Fight Club and Office Space would have been made, they would have definitely been on the list. Because I think Fight Club was kind of one of the the pinnacle of Gen X angst and frustration and all of that especially for the young Gen X men. Fight Club is elite. It's one of my favorite movies. You all right, Grendelson? All right. Oh, there you go. Got that special edition DVD.
says out of print on it. I bought it at an Amoeba for $25.
Oh my goodness.
It has all the shit in it still. How to start a fight. There's a whole book.
Damn.
Book on.
Did you see at the World Cup the other night? Edward Norton and Brad Pitt were in a box together.
No, I'm sorry. I saw Edward Norton.
Edward Norton, yes.
I didn't see Brad Pitt next to him.
Everybody's like, why is Ed Norton talking to himself? We should get him some help. Oh, I'm sorry.
You are paying attention to the World Cup.
Well, I just saw I see Gen X things. You know, my timeline is just Gen X. Yeah, you're right, Edward. I'm so sorry. We don't talk about that.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna watch Fight Club later because I haven't seen it in a while.
Oh, it's
even though I have it. Obviously, I have it. I haven't even read. I read the book too. I really like Chuck. I can't say his last name. Palahniuk.
Pastor Check or something like that.
Palahniuk or whatever. I love
August 10th, Monday night is the night that we're watching Fight Club on the Discord movie night.
Oh shit! Well, I can't wait that long.
Yeah, I know. I'm not expecting you. You can watch it now and then watch it again in August.
That'd be good. Then I can yak all over it.
Yeah. We're gonna hop back to my video really quick and watch a little bit more. We're gonna listen to a little bit of Strauss and Howe. There's also an MTV documentary about Generation X that aired in 1991, narrated by Kurt Loder. And we're gonna watch a little bit of that.
Baby boomer himself.
Yes, which is just wild. All right, so we're gonna pick up where we left off, and watch a little bit more of this.
Generation X.
The other Edward Norton that was super violent was American History X. The other one that was super violent. Yeah.
Well, I can't watch that one anymore.
That's a tough one.
That one again.
Yeah.
I can't do that one anymore.
Back in 1991.
The most important thing to look for in defining a generation is how the members of that generation define themselves. The 13th generation in American history, dating back to Benjamin Franklin. These are the 13th to know the American nation and flag. They also are faced with a real hard luck life cycle reminiscent of what the old lost generation knew. The number 13 is a good reflection of that. It's also a slippery label, something that the kids themselves like because they're tired of being criticized by elders, being told that they're part of a bust, a baby bust group that is disappointing when compared with the boom.
One thing we talk about with the 13th generation is how attitudes toward children changed very dramatically in the early 1960s and through the 1970s. The 13th generation are the first babies people took pills not to have. And as the 1960s went on, we saw a new kind of movie come into national popularity, the Rosemary's Baby, the Exorcist type film, which depicted the child as devil, as bad, mean, and selfish. Many of the 13ers today in their late 20s remember that period, and their sense of identity, their sense of self has in some ways been permanently shaped by that. Today, by contrast, since the early 1980s, we've had a whole new batch of cuddly baby movies. Today, with the emergence of yet a new generation, babies are to be protected. We see baby on board bumper stickers everywhere, and people think that children must be given a better national mission and must be given structure as children.
Okay.
And we call them the millennial generation.
The ones that were born in between 1982 and the year 2003.
Right. Kids who are presently in third grade and younger.
That's when we saw a sudden change in people's attitudes toward divorce, toward family, towards structure and discipline in schools, a rethinking of many of the assumptions and the educational experiments that went wrong, that many people in retrospect believe went wrong during the 1970s.
I don't know. It's hard to put a label on my generation because I think that we're all pretty diverse.
I would call it the hip-hop generation.
I think the realist generation.
Call them the numb heads.
A bunch of burnouts.
Most of them are just kind of sit back, relax type generation, I guess. Watch the world go by. We are becoming the couch potato generation.
Our generation really doesn't have a name. It doesn't have we have no direction.
Is that it, the nowhere generation? I feel like I'm somewhere. I don't feel like I'm nowhere.
You've heard all the media handles for the new crop of young Americans now in their early 20s, and you've read all the stories attempting to explain them. There are now more than 22 million of these people between the ages of 21 and 25. We've traveled across the country talking to many of them, and over the course of the next hour, you'll hear them explain themselves. These people are the vanguard of a new generation, and as you'll see, they are very different from the baby boomers who preceded them. These young Americans grew up with a feel-good president, a Wall Street boom, and an economy that's bottomed out, just as they're ready to become a part of it. They're also the children of a communications explosion that's had a profound effect on how they process information about the world around them.
I think MTV and a lot of the other courses like that are teaching us to think shorter and shorter and shorter term, and to take information really quickly, not really think it out a whole lot, but to take it in.
It's the negative way of saying that our generation has a shorter attention span as opposed to its sophisticated watching of television. What we also have is a healthy sense of cynicism and skepticism.
I'm not gonna try.
The ability to read lying speech, which is what most of television is. It's propaganda of one kind or another.
You can trust me. Nevertheless, in many ways, the members of this new generation are united by television, too. By the time they turned 21, these people had logged nearly 23,000 hours in front of the tube, their earliest window on the world.
I did more.
What I remember is Watergate. I remember watching hours and hours of that on TV. That's one time when the TV was brought down from the attic and we were allowed to watch.
I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow.
The shooting of President Reagan, that would be the one thing that would pop to my head first.
I know it's true.
Challenger, go and throttle up.
Again.
'Cause I saw it on TV.
The Challenger explosion. This was something that everybody my age witnessed before their very eyes. It was almost a visible symbol of the state of our nation kind of going up and exploding in flames. This is the kind of future that we look at sometimes.
I was a TV-aholic. I watched everything from Good Times, Jefferson's to Gilligan's Island. I watch them today. They're hilarious.
I love humor because we had enough controversy day to day.
All the family.
Happy days.
Thank you very much. Sanford and Son.
Starsky and Hutch.
Charlie's Angels.
Morning, Angels. I am a TV star.
So this gets into the whole thing we were going to talk about the marketing and the TV and how that was so integral into our upbringing, our childhood, our young adulthood. The same way that the young kids today grew up on social media and online, we grew up on television. And the difference is that we were all watching the same 3 or 4 channels and the same shows, and the kids online are all,
fragmented everywhere into a million different places. But yeah, it was, we were so, as hated as we were by the older generations, we were targeted hard when it came to the marketing and the pop culture. Yeah, they liked our money.
They did.
They wanted our money. They liked our money. They wanted our adoration and love. They just didn't like us, And
they didn't want us to work in their jobs. They didn't want us to have anything, but they wanted us to watch cartoons and eat cereal and work at McDonald's. And I don't know what they wanted for us, but we didn't have a direction. Like Strauss and Howe were saying in that interview, once the millennials started arriving, the attitudes changed in parenting and in how you treat children, giving that generation a direction of what they want to work for. We didn't have any of that. And so we became our own families. We became our own groups. That was a big thing about the television and the movies that were in the 90s movies that I'm talking about in my latest video. It's all about these little families created by friends of college students and high school students and singles that were out on their own. We were kind of in it on our own, and nobody else was going to help us. Nobody was, but we were definitely marketed to like crazy. And I'll
tell you, by 95, I had, a very close group of friends. This was the Hive Mind 2.0. I wasn't actually not involved in Hive Mind 1.0, but
Yeah.
2.0 I was there, and about 8 or 9 of us at the max, 6 of us really at the core. And we were the epitome of who was being marketed to, because we all had fairly good jobs, we all had a lot of disposable income, and we didn't have much to tie us down,
Direction or
Yeah.
anything, or responsibility, or
And
as
the
far
thing-
as like family
Yeah.
and kids or things like
Right.
that.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is that we were all working in offices, mostly in tech, and we were the youngsters in the office in our 20s. There were so many people we were always the youngest in the office until the 2000s. So, I didn't even start working with anybody younger than myself until the 2000s, really. And that was like a real weird thing for me.
Yeah.
I was always working with older folks.
Yes.
And there weren't, and anybody who was like my age who came on board was always, we always had to fight for all the scraps, in the workplace. And we had to like work twice as hard as people who were 10 or 15 or 20 years older than us.
Right. And we were always being judged and not doing things well enough. And
I remember like the VP of our department started, because I worked at Price Club, which now is Costco. And the VP of our department started off as a cart pusher at a Price Club back in the day. And he worked his way up for like 15 years and became a VP of the company. Never got his degree or anything.
Damn.
But he would not let any of us rise above.
Yeah.
Because he was like, you're just too young. You may, maybe your degree is worth nothing. I didn't even have a degree at that point.
Yeah. Pulled the ladder up behind him, was just like, we're not going to do this. Yeah.
And didn't buy. The problem was he also had no vision for what we were doing, which was something that required a lot of vision, because we were on the internet in 92.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah, we were selling stuff in 92 online. So
yeah, that is early.
It was early. It was extremely early. And it was, I still remember it was like, it took us 2 weeks to figure out how to make a shopping cart. We had to figure out how to make a shopping cart.
Well, yeah. You were the ones you were the trailblazers. You were the pioneers of the internet, if you will.
And there's no documentation on it whatsoever. It's so weird. I look for it. I look online and I'm like, nope, unless you were there, you didn't know it,
Yeah.
It was just a blip.
That's crazy. I'm surprised there's no documentation of all that. That sucks.
It was a regional thing. It never actually got we never got nationwide, although we were in New York and and it was Price Club, so you didn't, if you were a Sam's person, you never would go into a Price Club,
right?
So it was mostly on the West Coast too.
I was gonna say we had Sam's in the Midwest, but not the Price Clubs. So
yeah.
Right on. Getting back to the book, we were talking about 90s movies and all of the things that were being portrayed in these 90s movies. Older generations mostly avoided those movies. So their impression of X mainly arises through mainstream media, Newsweek, Fox's sports broadcasts that aggressively pursue young adult psychographics, and especially through advertising. Marketers zero in on young adults less because they have spendable money. Of all adult age brackets, they have the least per capita, than because they dominate the margins of product choice. Today's young adults have thin loyalties, what Copeland calls micro allegiances. With them, once the fizz is gone, that's it, says a Shearson Lehman pump sneakers analyst. As advertisers search for the right fizz formula, shocked elders see constant 30-second snippets of hyperkinetic, inarticulate, young body worshippers trampling the Tetons in pursuit of raw pleasure. Young adults may buy the beer, but the image leaves a hangover. X got hyper marketed, declared Copeland in 95. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say we didn't have any brand loyalty because we were brought up in a time period where, brand names meant more money. And we were, a lot of us were buying generic foods or store brands.
And we didn't want label. Like we were not really into labels.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that whole bullshit about the 80s and the Jordache jeans and Bugle Boy jeans and all that.
Yep.
We never did any of us give a crap about that? I never
Nope.
did. I never cared. Like, okay, I like to have some Levi's 501s. That's about it.
Sure. Right.
But jeans are jeans.
Yeah, when I was like 12, 13-year-old girl, there was things that I liked, like I wanted a pair of LA Gear, or I wanted to, I don't know, buy a certain brand of stereo or whatever, but it wasn't, I was happy with what I got. So it wasn't like I had to have these brand labels or these names.
I wanted a Sony, but I got an Emerson.
Right. Yeah. Or I wanted Doc Martens, but I got the cheap Walmart knockoffs, which was fine, but yeah, or Birkenstocks and all that stuff. Like I always got the knockoffs. Just because, it was, the brands were more money. They were more expensive and they didn't mean anything.
No.
Yeah.
They actually meant less because we realized you're paying for the name.
Right.
Why should I pay for the name? Because the other products are just as good. Why am I paying for a name? And
now, I will say that now stores, at least for my female perspective, were more important to me than the actual brand of a product.
Okay,
so
sure.
Yeah, so I want to go. I want to go to the Gap, or I want to go to Esprit, or I want to go to the whatever store it was, 5, 7, and 9, or Merry-Go-Round, or whatever the store was. But I didn't have to have a brand name label on my clothes or my shoes or anything like that.
Did you ever hear of a store called Z Gallery?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh God, I love that store. I love that store so much because it had all sorts of weird shit. But
yeah,
I remember getting this kick-ass kimono robe. I wish I still had. I wish I still had that robe.
A kimono robe. I like to see you rock a kimono robe.
Oh, it was beautiful. It was black and it was textured and.
Yeah.
God, I missed that.
Benetton and PacSun. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, PacSun for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
There were definitely stores that you wanted to see here, and every once in a while you might even get a Benetton shirt or a PacSun, like something that actually said that on there.
I will say this: you didn't want to be caught dead shopping at Kmart.
Right? Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Like if you would go to Kmart, you'd hide your, I don't want to know anybody,
Yeah.
We didn't have any Walmarts. We did not have a Walmart in San Diego until the 90s. So
wow.
I did not, as a child, never actually went into a Walmart. So I have no idea.
Really? We got one of the,
was like our Walmart. For us.
My town got one of the very first super Walmarts because we're very close to Bentonville.
Yeah.
But we had a regular Walmart my whole childhood, which was the old school, like discount type of a store. It was more like a Dollar General. If you've ever been to a Dollar General, but then in 1990 or 89, we got number 3, the third super center in the world. Wow. And it's still there.
I bet.
And it's
probably because they probably bought the land and they don't have to, I mean,
they did.
That's what price clubs did. They would always buy the land and just build.
Same with McDonald's. Yeah.
Well, McDonald's are still franchised, but yeah,
they are. But the McDonald's corporation,
the corporation buys the land.
Oh. Yes, that's because McDonald's is mostly a real estate company than it is a restaurant company. You got to watch The Founder.
I probably should. I haven't seen that.
It's a good movie.
Well, living in San Diego, which was Ray Kroc land, you couldn't not know about McDonald's, but
right.
But
I mean, the first McDonald's for the McDonald's brothers was in San Bernardino.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
I've been there.
You guys remember Service Merchandise? That store,
yes,
Service Merchandise.
I remember Service Merchandise. That was cool.
Yeah.
They were with Best. Do you remember Best's?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
My mom. I was talking about that with my mom the other day. She doesn't even remember them. And my mom is 51 born, so she doesn't remember that.
Doesn't remember Best. Oh.
Yeah, I had to remind her. I'm like, it was like half catalog, but mostly they had a warehouse.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm like, they're the best toys. And Mom's like, of course she would remember the toys. I'm like, Mom, that's all I remember from my childhood is the toys.
Yes, it's the toys. Exactly. Give me a
Mom,
toy
my
section.
life is toys. What are you talking about?
We also had.
Want to see what I built today?
Yeah. What'd you build? Oh, looky there.
It's a model kit action figure.
Wow. How cool is that?
Yeah, so he comes in a box like this. Oh, it's upside down.
Oh, neat.
$10 from Walmart.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's super cool.
Got it shipped. And there's a whole line of them. I have a Lucas Stormtrooper too.
Well, looky there. How neat.
And Superman.
Keeping yourself busy, keeping those hands busy. I
Yeah,
like
one
it.
of them's broken.
Putting
so.
stuff together, building. I love
Mervyn's.
it.
I remember Mervyn's.
Mervyn's.
We could just sit here and go hours about all the different stores we don't have anymore.
Sears, J.C. Penney, yeah, Woolworths.
I never thought Sears would go away, but
Me
God,
neither.
that's so
Sears.
crazy.
The fact that Sears didn't become Amazon before Amazon is wild.
No, that is
It is
crazy.
wild.
They really were short-sighted, and
Oh,
the
I
crazy
know.
thing is they always had that reputation of being future-looking, and like, what did they do? Nothing.
Yeah,
They
had that. They had that
pissed it
whole
all
entire.
away.
They had the catalog business. Literally, that could have so easily been transferred into online shopping business. They had all of those addresses. They had that mailing list. They had had the setup of the shipping and the distribution and the mailing stuff to people. And I just, it's wild to me that they didn't become Amazon before Amazon.
Well, here's the thing about Amazon, and a lot of people forget this. Amazon lost money for 10 years.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah.
they-
At least, yeah.
And they didn't, and I'll tell you this: they still don't make any money off of the shipping business.
No, they make their money in different ways.
They make their
They
money off
own-
of
they-
the internet.
Yeah,
They own the back. They
so
own
much stuff.
they own 1/5 of the backbone of
Yeah.
the internet, and they make more money off of digital services and providing ISP to half
Yeah.
the world than
Yeah.
he does making money off of buying and selling. In fact, I think
Right.
they still lose money on buying and selling goods.
Right. Most of the sellers on Amazon are independent sellers that are just using the platform to sell their products.
Gee,
So-
I refuse. I don't buy any of that stuff. I will
Oh,
only
really?
buy from Amazon. Yeah, I'm really weird about that.
The thing
the
is-
third party people using Amazon don't ever have better prices.
They don't. It's just weird because, when I was growing up in my small little town, we had clothing stores, we had shoe stores, we had
Toy
different
stores.
places to toy
I
stores. We
miss
had
toy stores.
Yeah, like all these different stores. And then once the Walmart came in, it started to go away. And then once Amazon became the thing that it is, like there's nowhere to go buy. Like we have like one famous footwear shoe store where you can go get some sneakers, but like there's one shoe store and there's I don't think there's any clothing stores. Like there's nowhere to get anything. You have to get everything online right now because all those businesses closed. Which is
Remember Payless shoes? I used to go there for ages. And they're
our Payless shut down. It's now a dispensary. In my
there are
hometown.
Reprimanda. There are still Big Five Sporting Goods. There's a couple of them I know that are still open.
Are there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Toys R Us supposedly is coming back. So one of the toy companies that's not Mattel or Hasbro, which those are the two biggest ones, but besides
Wow.
Lego, is a company called Nika that have been around for a while, and they have actually bought Toys R Us. So they are going to bring something back, Toys R Us back somehow. Probably more as a smaller.
Right. And it'll never be like the original.
It'll never be like,
Z-Man, I'm very interested in here. You must not live in a small town because I don't see how you could have gotten this far and never bought anything off Amazon or internet. Speaking of, my store is up. My merch store is starting. I'm gonna have to give you a link to my. I'm gonna have to give you a link to my merch store, Z-Man 420. Make your first purchase my so-called Gen X Life mug.
God, I mean, I
don't even know how you could do that.
I buy my weed off the internet now. I mean, if I could have told my father that in 1985,
Right.
Hey Dad, by the way, in 50 years, or 40 years, I'm going to be able to buy weed off the internet and have it delivered to the house.
Yeah.
He'd have been like, you're out of your mind.
You're out of your mind. Yep.
Yeah. Well, and then also, by the way, Dad, I can pull up any movie or TV show or music song that I ever wanted to hear, like in 2 seconds.
any book,
Any book,
anything, any part,
Anything.
any knowledge you want to have, it is
Yes.
going to be in your pocket.
Can we have that now? I mean, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
best part. That's why I'm still so happy about, the internet. I still love
yeah.
it, no matter what happens. And people can decry it all they want, that it's taking the humanity out of humans. I don't give a shit. I want my internet. I want my knowledge. I want the world's computers at my disposal.
Yeah. And I'm going to say something about the younger generations that was said about us in when we were younger. But the fact that all this information, every bit of information in the history of the world, is at the young people's fingertips, and they seem to be stupider than ever.
They don't fucking understand what they have.
No, they don't.
Because they've never experienced want.
Nope.
They've never experienced. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I mean, I'm generalizing here, but
everything became so instantaneous. Everything they haven't experienced like waiting, delayed gratification. Yeah.
They don't know what it was like to wait 3 years in between Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back,
right? Or a whole
between
summer.
Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, when we didn't know Han Solo was going to make it.
Or a whole summer between a TV show season, having to wait till the next season starts.
Who the hell? Who shot JR? I gotta know.
Right?
Who shot Mr. Burns?
But I'm telling you, there was something to those types of things, being able to build cultural moments. That's one of the reasons why we can't build them now. Developing film. Oh my God, waiting, like sending your photos off and having them wait to 3 or 4 days before they came back. I
actually learned how to develop film.
Really?
In journalism class. Black and white.
Yep.
Easy.
I never got it. I never really learned how to do all that. I was more on the video side of things, but my dad had a dark room in our house when I was really little.
Oh man, that dark room in our journalism class, man, there were things I'm not allowed to talk about.
I was getting ready to
in that dark room, let me tell you. Oh boy, yeah, there was that was the best when I was in 10th grade, and the seniors, the 12th graders would come in, and
yep.
It's a good thing journalism class was 6th period. That's all I have to say.
Moving on.
Literally 50 years ago, Dina gave a blowjob. Nice. I think I might have known. No. That might have happened in my dark room, but I'm sure
it happens in most dark rooms across the country that are in.
I mean, that red light is on.
Yeah. Hey,
that door ain't opening.
I may or may not have done some things in my college video editing suites that, I mean, I'm just, maybe, I don't know. Who knows?
I mean, for me, it's all a blur. It's all that. It's a blur of powder and weed and alcohol and going to Ticketmaster at the warehouse. Well, actually, Tower. I would go to Tower, not Ticketmaster. We had a Sam Goodies, a Tower, and a warehouse, all within a mile of each other. It was by San Diego State. I mean, we had 4 arcades. All the best pizza joints, bars galore.
Yeah.
Living near this college, living in a college area. Even though it was San Diego, which is a big freaking city. I mean, it's still it was still a little college area, and man, I loved that. I wish I grew up in a college town. I wish I lived in
college towns are really cool.
That's I could see myself retiring, becoming a teacher, and living in a college town.
I have said that for a lot of years, that a college town is kind of like the perfect. You get the most, like, especially in the Midwest, you get a smaller town feel, but you get a lot of the amenities and things of a larger city, because you have the university brings in all kinds of different things artistic wise, shows, lectures.
And here's the really important thing: as the old folks, you get to suck the social juices right out of those little
the whole,
because I don't know about you, but whenever I'm around kids younger than me, and I say kids, but you know what I mean,
anybody under 40.
Basically, if I go to the theater that I volunteer for a theater here in LA. And I don't go there very often, but I help online. And if I ever go, it's always people who are super young, and I just suck off their energy. I just like, I'm just like, let's put on a show. I want to do that, and I'm like, I'm 55 goddamn years old. Tomorrow morning, you're gonna drink all night and go to. Tomorrow morning, you're gonna go to work, and you're gonna be like, I don't have a hangover. And tomorrow morning, I'll be like, I feel dead.
Yeah, used to go to work with like, your hand still stamped and the wristbands from the night before, and you get home at 5 a.m. and get to work by 7:38. Oh, the thought of doing that now just
I remember that.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Oh my God, I remember this one party. Oh, okay, I can't talk about that.
Yeah, let's not. Let's get back to the book. X got hyper marketed, declared Copeland in 1995, and now I'm here to say that X is over. Generation Echo declared one parody as polls showed only 10% of youth willing to embrace the letter label. From Copeland to Pearl Jam's Eddie Vedder, putative leaders of the youth culture declare no interest in speaking for anybody, except perhaps to share writer Jennifer Lynch's realization that maybe I have nothing really to say. The whole X persona has come to be perceived as such a mess that nobody wants to identify with it, as if to cut all connection with a loser.
Jennifer Lynch is David Lynch's daughter, by the way.
Oh.
And
I was wondering who that was.
And she's not a writer anymore. She directs television shows.
Oh, wow.
She directed a buttload of 911.
Shut up.
I'm not even kidding.
That is
I watched. I just started watching that show. I binged it over the last few months.
Yeah,
and I saw her. I saw her as directed by Jennifer Lynch. And I'm like, is that the same Jennifer Lynch as David's daughter? Yep, sure enough, the woman who did Jennifer. She did Jennifer's Body with that.
She did
movie
that.
Where they, yeah,
yeah,
she did that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so she is definitely Gen X too, and
yeah.
So I freaking love David Lynch. So
yeah,
I definitely.
I had no idea that she was directing TV.
Yeah, go figure.
Go figure. Often talk of X has degenerated into pretentious put-downs by a boomer-dominated media bent on confirming the superior authenticity of their own awakening era youth. The 1994 Woodstock revival produced much boomer talk about how much nobler and less commercial the original had been. In return, the bombast of middle-aged narcissists has provided a ripe target for this younger generation of survivors. Boomers are finally growing up, says Kate Fillion, and we don't hold it against them that they forced so many of us to beat them to it.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, to hear many 13ers tell it, following boomers into youth is like entering a theme park after a mob has trashed the place and some distant CEO has turned every idea into a commercial logo. Make love, not war sounds so absurd to me, sings Extreme, confirming America's latest generation gap.
More than words.
Yes. Saying I love you. Gotta love them. To get a fix on today's young adult generation, and by the way, remember this book was written in 1997, so we were considered the young adults of the time. To get a fix on today's young adult generation, forget the X, look beyond the pop media and skip the boomers. Focus instead on their place in American history. Number 13, and how different 13ers are at this age from the generation that nurtured them, the silent. Where silent youth felt the need to break free from a gravitational conformism, 13ers feel the need to ground themselves out of a centrifugal chaos. The silent were America's least immigration generation and yearn for more diversity. 13ers are the 20th century's most immigrant generation and yearn for more common ground. Where the silent inhabited the most uniform youth culture and living memory, 13ers dwell in the most diverse mini cultures. Excuse me. Where the silent were the youngest marrying generation in U.S. history with low rates of premarital sex, abortion, and venereal disease, 13ers are the oldest marrying with the highest ever rates of teen sex, abortion, and venereal disease, including AIDS. Where the silent's worst high school discipline problems were gum chewing and cutting in line, the image of troubled 13ers is kids, in which the adult world is invisible amid a numbing youth search for violence and drugs and sex and money. Where the silent had an
Can
annual.
I tell you how much?
Huh?
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say.
that movie Kids scared more adults than anything
I just pulled a clip of it for my video, and I mean,
Yeah.
I was.
And have you seen it?
I hadn't seen it all. I haven't seen it all. It was just, it was something that wouldn't have been allowed in my house, like when I was younger. I mean, it was so graphic and so like that just wasn't allowed when I was still living with my parents when it came out, because it came out my senior year in high school, right at the end of my senior year in high school when it came out.
Basically, you know how the world reacted to Euphoria's first season?
Yeah.
That's how how the world reacted to Kids.
I can see that.
I can almost see that. Exactly the same. Even when Euphoria first came out, I was like, "Oh, this is Kids all over again."
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, Euphoria is, it's the 2026 version of Kids. It's wild.
Good either. Kids, right. by the way, Kids is a fantastic movie.
Yeah, I mean, for what as a movie,
I don't know that I ever want to see it again in my lifetime.
That's the thing. Like, that's something that you watch once, and it's just like, because like I said, I sat and watched it not like a couple days ago, and I pulled clips from it earlier today, and I was just like, it is a hard watch.
Yeah,
it is a hard watch.
Especially for Chloe Sevigny and Rosario Dawson. So
yes.
Young.
I know.
Like, oh my god!
I know. It gave me the same reaction as Requiem for a Dream did.
I was just going to mention that's another movie that I've seen once and I don't ever need to see again.
Exactly.
Brilliant movie. Loved watching it.
Yeah, but there's some things that you only have to watch one time, and those are definitely Kids and Requiem are definitely in that world. All right.
I feel like for me, probably Schindler's List is going to be that way, although I don't really ever want to see it.
Yeah, I have seen it a couple of times, but yeah, there's no need. You have to be in the right mood to watch that. And
I'm Jewish. I grew up hearing stories about cousins who didn't make it. So
yeah,
I tell you what, happened. I don't need to see it.
The music, the music is so good in that.
I'm sure. I mean, it's the most brilliant movie he's ever going to make, but it's not something I want to see.
No, I don't blame you. Where the silence worst high school discipline problems were gum and chewing, cutting in line. Let's see. Where the silent had an annual young adult arrest rate of 13 per 1,000. The 13er arrest rate is 117 per 1,000. Holy crap! Over 10% of us got arrested as teenagers. One 13er student in 6 knows somebody who has been shot. Where silent youths came of age believing in sweet sentimentality as kids who sang Elvis, Just Want to Be Your Teddy Bear. 13ers came of age believing in rock hard reality as kids who, writes Bret Easton Ellis, wants to be unambiguous winners, Tom Cruise characters. Where the young silent wanted a heartbreak hotel, 13ers would rather be Top Gun. How would such wonderful parents as ourselves have produced such awful children? Asked William Raspberry. Try this. Where the silent were children of a crisis who came of age in a high, 13ers were children of an awakening who came of age in an unraveling. Where the silent grew up just when a hungry society wanted to invest, 13ers grew up just when satiated society wanted to cash out. Where the silent came of age in an era when individualism was discouraged but economic success guaranteed, 13ers are coming of age when individualism is celebrated but economic success is up for grabs. Where the young silent climbed the corporate ladder and flocked to Washington to staff the new frontier in great society. Twice as many 13ers say they would rather own their own business than be corporate CEOs, and 4 times as many would rather be entrepreneurs than hold a top job in government. With the silent, prosperity and institutional stability gradually exceeded expectations, allowing them to turn their focus to effect and detail. With 13ers, the opposite happened, and how expectations were betrayed. Where the silent came of age with how to succeed in business without really trying, 13ers have the stark declinism of rent, riveting them on the bottom lines of life. Generational economics bear this out. Unraveling 13ers, males especially, have been hit with a one-generation depression. From 1973 to 1992, the real median income for young adult males fell by 28%, more than it did for the entire nation from peak to trough of the Great Depression. During those same 2 decades in which youth incomes were plunging, real median income for seniors rose by 26%. In 1969, the median earnings of full-time working men under age 25 was 74% of the median for all older full-time men. Since 1986, that figure has never risen above 55%. In the awakening, only 8% of young employed household heads lived in poverty. Now 18% do. Notwithstanding this harsh youth economy, the image of Beverly Hills 90210 style wealth, cars, TVs, CD players, leather logo jackets, has wrapped itself tightly around 13ers. Yet what sociologist Gerald Bachman calls premature affluence has done more harm than good. It has accustomed youth to parentally subsidized luxuries they cannot possibly afford on their own, and it has persuaded older generations that if some young people aren't doing well, they have only themselves to blame. The poor stay poor, the rich get rich, sings Concrete Blonde. That's how it goes. Everybody knows. Boy, are we in the extremes of this now. That it's just,
Yeah, I don't even want to
wow.
look up what those statistics are today.
I know, right?
I'll just get more depressed.
I know. For a generation that struggles so much in economic and public life, fatalism is a survival skill, comforting those who are not doing so well. They apply it to wall off each fragment of life, work, family, friends, culture, fun, from the rest, and thereby contain any damage from spreading. Unlike boomers, 13ers can't spare the energy to be together people, linking every act to a core self. Instead, they tend to be modular people, dealing with each situation on its own terms. Nowhere is fatalism more rampant than in 13er views on crime. The Unraveling's youth crime rate has ebbed below its awakening era boomer peak, but the public tolerates it far less. Where the boomers were the most alibied and excused criminal generation in U.S. history, 13ers have become the most incarcerated. Roughly 1/3 of all 13er black males are either in prison on probation or under court supervision. Today's convicts are perceived as incorrigible, deserving not of rehabilitation but of pure punishment, from butt caning to merciless execution. Yet of all Unraveling era generations, 13ers are the toughest on criminals. If you're guilty and get caught, so the thinking goes, don't complain about what's coming to you. Taking risks comes naturally to what is far and away America's most active generation of gamblers. As online sports bettors, lottery ticket regulars, and avid bar bingo players, 13ers fill the age brackets that are now, but were not previously, most at risk to compulsive gambling. Lacking any guarantee that slow but steady, follow the rules and trust in the future behavior will ever pay off, 13ers tend to view the world as run by lottery markets in which a person either lands the one big win or goes nowhere. They have constructed a flinty ethos of self-determination in which being rich or poor has less to do with virtue than with timing, salesmanship, and luck. What people get is simply what they get and is not necessarily related to what they may or may not deserve. Their dating and mating reflects much of the same quest for risk amid decline, for modularity amid chaos, for doing what works amid constant elder judgments about right and wrong. Where the young silent looked at sex as euphoric, marriage as romantic, and feminism as a thrilling breakthrough, 13ers look at sex as dangerous, marriage as what a St. Elmo's Fire character calls all financial, and gender equality as a necessary survival tool in a world of wrecked courtship rituals, splintered families, and unreliable husbands. As older feminists debate what Deanna Rex calls problems of affluence and success rather than serious ones, their 13er successors are more concerned about immediate self-defense against AIDS, date rape, and street crime, and longer-term self-defense against potential spouses who might be unreliable providers or abandon their families. As the youngest copulating and oldest marrying generation ever recorded, 13ers maneuver through an unusually long span of sexually active singlehood with the threat of AIDS ever lingering in the background. They've always been the physical center of the abortion debate, first as the surviving fetuses of the most aborted generation in U.S. history, later as the pregnant unmarried woman faced with the choice of what to do. Small wonder 13ers have such split feelings about the consciousness revolution. They fantasize about how the 1960s and 70s supposedly offered boomers easy sex without consequence, while resenting the lasting damage done by an era in which they now realize they were the babies adults were trying so much not to have. I'll take a pause there for a bit. How are we all feeling? That was tough to hear, wasn't it? That was.
We need to be cheered up now.
I know. Let's watch Museum of the 90s from College Humor.
Oh, let's do that.
Okay.
Let's be happy.
Students, okay, come on in, guys. Mason, phone away, please. Prepare to travel back in time to an ancient, archaic age when people had to struggle to survive.
What's crack-a-lackin', home slices?
That was a customary greeting from this long ago era, the 1990s. This is a historically accurate recreation of the life your ancestors lived. These answer any questions you have about life in the 90s. Ask away.
Is that a weapon?
No, for indeed, this is a phone.
That's a phone? What's your favorite app on it?
That's almost exactly like my first cell phone. It's very close.
I had a Motorola.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the
I had one. I had. Yeah. That was my second one. Was the Motorola just to click it to talk? It wasn't.
I didn't get one until 99. It was. I got one at work. Yeah.
My first was 97, 98. I had a pager. I wasn't a drug dealer or a doctor, but I did have a pager first couple of years of college, and then I got my first.
I got a pager, but it was no one ever paged me. So
yeah,
I was like, why do I have a pager?
What is the point of this?
What was the point? Yeah, it was like $10 a month.
Videos or checking emails.
You've got no idea what you're talking about. This is a phone. It has many different uses. It can make and receive calls. It can turn on and off. And some have as many as 3 different ringtones.
Okay, but where's the camera?
Why the camera? It's right here.
Wow.
Whatever.
Mason.
The 90s weren't even that long ago. This is lame.
I see. The young man is a skeptic. Well, to you, I give our most damning castigation. Loser says, whatever.
What are you doing?
Sprinker says what?
Yeah, I just put a clip in my video of the girl from Phyllis going, whatever.
Whatever. L.
Chill, young homie. I'm merely clowning on you. For your good sportsmanship, I shall give you a rare and treasured prize. Booyah! It's a laser disc. But be very careful not to scratch it, for soon I must return it to Blockbuster. Yoink! Step back!
I don't remember Blockbuster renting out laser discs.
That's the thing. Laser discs were for high end. Like I knew 2 or 3 people who owned laser discs.
Yeah, they were really.
They were for high end people who really liked their movies, and everybody else had VHS.
Yeah.
Would have been better if you pulled out a VHS.
Yeah,
you should have pulled out a VHS. That would have made sense.
Yeah. So that
by
was
1990, laser discs were gone. We didn't care.
Yeah, I think there was a couple. I had one classroom, my biology classroom had a laser disc player where we watched a couple of things in there. But no, that was just brought in from AV. So we had one laser disc player in my high school, but rarely did we ever watch anything on it.
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple of friends who had them because they were collectors and, they were into anime and science fiction and stuff. So that's what they would buy.
Yeah.
And I remember going to Tower Records and you could buy them. You could rent them at Tower Records, I remember. And Tower Video.
You could buy them in different places, but I honestly don't think Blockbuster ever rented out laser discs.
Maybe some of them did, but
maybe
I don't remember. Yeah. I mean, Blockbuster, VHS, then later DVD, but also games.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I used to watch a lot of laser discs, but they weren't that popular.
No.
To be a duel. 2 families at odds. The Backstreet Boys versus NSYNC. They fight to the death. History's never seen a battle for
really
dominance so bitter.
It wasn't a fight, and nobody over the age of 22 was paying attention to the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. That was for the younger, Gen Xers and millennials.
I didn't think it was a fight, and besides which, I was paying attention to the Spice Girls anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't give a crap about the boy bands. I was like, give me more Spice
Right.
Girls.
And they didn't come out until like 98, 99. So I mean, they're reaching here with
Yeah.
that. They should have gone with more R&B.
Well,
like,
it's like the museums are always dodgy. If you
Yeah.
think about it, they always are not. You have to always question the veracity of everything in a museum, especially the older antiquities. Like, come on, like, don't you remember watching those episodes of Futurama when they're like going back to 1,000 years and they get everything wrong? It's hilarious.
right. Absolutely. Hanson, Backstreet Boys. All right. You guys were into the boy bands in the late 90s. Hey, I have a ticket.
Hanson was such beautiful little girls. I don't know what happened.
I saw them in a Walmart parking lot before they got famous.
Oh my.
I know. In Kansas City.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
I don't have any of those good stories. I didn't get to see anybody. I never saw anybody like up and coming live, It's a lot of like good bands live, but those were at big shows. I never went to any small shows.
You probably can't see it. At the Ticketmaster to Arrowhead Stadium, July 10th, 2001 to see NSYNC. I took my little sister to see NSYNC. So that's the ticket stub.
I have a scrapbook that has all of my tickets in it.
Oh, cool. I wish I would have
back
kept
to
more.
my first show ever.
Wow.
I actually still have a t-shirt from that show too.
That's awesome.
I can't wear it. It's never been worn because it was the wrong size.
Oh, that's a bummer.
But I think it's got mothballs by now. So.
Oh yeah.
Boingo Boingo too. It was Boingo Boingo 1986.
Boingo Boingo, huh?
Yep. Yeah, that was my first rock and roll show on my own. I don't count any of the concerts that my parents took me to, because they would take me to shows like at the San Diego Wild Animal Park, and I remember they took me to see Pete Seeger, folk guy from a long time ago. Nice.
Yeah, San Diego. Chrissy's talking about New Kids on the Block. So here's my "You Got It the Right Stuff" single that I found in a box not too long ago.
Wow.
And my New Kids on the Block step-by-step comic book from 1990.
Nice. Oh, you need to get a bag and board for that, baby.
I know it's only 36 years old and it has been in a bottom of a box the whole time, but
that's all right. I have comic.
We can still bag and board it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Listen, you can never not put them in a bag and board. It'll always help.
Okay.
Trust me.
I'll do the right thing. Same with my cards.
Yeah.
Because I have a whole stack. I had a subscriber or a channel member send me a whole thing of New Kids on the Block cards.
Oh, nice.
So,
yeah, you need to get you need to get a binder and some pages.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I will. Anyways, let's finish off this video and then
Nelson out.
We still have a little bit more to go in the book.
Oh, okay.
Are we all okay? Or do we want to kind of? Well, actually, we have a lot to go. How about we just go ahead and push off this? We can just do this chapter one more week. I mean, there's a lot here. There's a lot here. Yeah. All right. Cool.
You guys care in the chat? Speak up if you care.
Yeah. If
And don't forget what the secret password was, which
right.
I've already. Oh no, I remember what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say it again.
Not going to say it again.
No, we were never. You only say it once. We're going to tell you once. You have to go back and listen. Or I will tell you. I will give you a hint. If you didn't hear earlier, I'll give you a hint. It was the name of the TV show that Nelson's grandparents created. Okay. There's your hint. Very easy. Very, very easy hint.
Yes.
Put that in the chat. You will be entered this week. You can enter as many weeks as we do it. You get one entry per week.
Yep. And this will be the prize to 5 different people. What Happened to Your Hair by Matthew and Gunnar Nelson. Best Gen X autobiography I've ever read. So much so I want the book club to read it because it's super good.
And that is going to be our book after we finish
13th Gen.
13th Gen, which is we're going to do a little bit of Fourth Turning is here.
We'll do like 1 week of Fourth Turning is here. And
then we'll do like just a couple of weeks on 13th Gen.
Couple weeks of 13th Gen. Yep.
So
yeah. I want to scoop that up because I skipped 13th Gen when we came to the Fourth Turning. I wanted to get into the Fourth Turning. So so that was on me. So we're skipping around the Strauss and Howe.
It's all good. It's all good.
But yeah.
And then we get to
Hey,
talk about
Joseph.
mountains.
San Diego, Chrissy, we got it. Yes, and we're gonna keep going on this topic on this chapter next week. And we still got another 20-30 minutes to go here. Just to wrap things up, watch a couple more videos and stuff. But we can watch some.
We should watch a Ricky Nelson. Let's
We
do
should.
a traveling
We
man.
should. Yes.
I'm
yes.
a traveling man. I'm
Let's
made
finish up
of
this
love.
video real quick, and we'll watch some more fun stuff.
Well, how would they ever settle it?
TRL.
And there are sacrifices on both sides. For each day, we must watch it live as it airs.
To assert our dominance to Lord Carson Daly, we must use our landlines to call the show.
We shall trek to
Thank
watch
you,
it
San
together
Diego
soon.
Chrissy.
Brennan is our navigator.
Time for me to log on to America Online and print directions from MapQuest.
The sound.
The World Wide Web.
And
can
by the way,
never
that
stop,
is accurate
and we
sound.
must
Yeah.
surf it.
Depending on
Our
how
beepers are beeping.
fast your
Whoa,
internet, your
We must
modem was.
return
Yeah.
the call. No,
Pager.
we must print the MapQuest directions. 4, we are almost all the way online.
But it could be an emergency.
Just do them at the same time.
Impossible. The phone and the internet use the same line.
This is A.
And if you had call waiting, it would screw up your internet.
Yeah, I
connection.
did.
Unless you put in your dial thing a special code.
Yeah. Oh
I
my
remember.
gosh.
I remember having to put that special code in my modem.
Oh
so that
my
I would
gosh.
turn off the call waiting as soon as I get online. But then again, I have my own.
Yeah.
You
You're
know.
a special. You were a special kind of nerd.
Oh hell yeah! I had my
I
own
say
phone
that out
line for my
loud.
computer. I didn't even care about calling people.
Oh wow.
I was
Yeah.
Like, no, I have to have a phone line for my computer, and that's why my mom got me one. She was like, "No, you need your computer. I can't."
Oh, I'm so glad you decided to join in, Chrissy. I appreciate that very, very much. No need to worry about chatting here. We have a really great group here on Tuesdays, Fridays over on the Discord. We have a really great community here on this channel. So we're all Gen Xers, and we just share our no judgment here. We all just share our memories and our experiences from our Gen X lives. That's what this channel is all about. So
But we're also
glad you made
We're
it.
trying to look forward too. You know.
Yes.
We're planning on buying those empty malls up and turning them into retirement
Gen
homes.
X retirement homes. I know.
Well,
you
it's
just
got to be
started-
better. It's got to be better than what the boomers are doing. You see that show, The Burrows? That thing is weird.
No.
Oh man, it's fucking weird. I have a feeling they're doing that because there's these. I keep seeing these retirement communities now. Like there's one in Florida that's like a whole city, and it's like nothing but golf carts.
Oh yeah, that's my neighbor's grandmother lives down there in that I can't remember the name of it. There's a name for it.
Yeah, they have a name for it. It's a
the-
big name. Yeah.
Yes, I can't think of what it is, but yeah.
It scares me. It scares me more than anything. You know.
With zombies or without?
I mean, without would probably be best.
Probably, but you know.
I've seen the original Dawn of the Dead a few too many times.
Yeah, the villages. Thank you, Anna.
Yeah, no, I don't
That's
want to
it.
live in the. I would. First of all, I watched The Prisoner as a kid. I would never ever live anywhere called the Village. Okay.
Well, you know, if you
I
got to
miss
drive
Orange
around in your
Julius.
little golf cart, you might think twice.
I miss Orange Julius. There is an Orange Julius out here in Burbank, and I was going to get one day. Do you know how much they want for a large Orange Julius?
Oh God, in
It was
Burbank,
like $10.
I was getting ready to say it's got to be in the double. I bet it's at least $10 to $12. Yep.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's
I'm like, no, it ain't that good. I don't give it. I don't need to drink eggshells that much. Okay.
Look, I'm good.
And
I'm
probably
good,
wasn't
thank you.
even the original. I'm
Probably
sure it wasn't even
not.
the original recipe.
Probably not.
You don't want to live in Spencer's? I mean, come on. That's where all
Oh.
that's how a lot of the adult stuff is.
Oh, Spencer's. Good times.
Don't want to live in Hot Topic? Come on.
Hot Topic. Oh no.
I know. I
Oh,
would
no.
myself. I would camp out at Suncoast. You know, that would be mine.
That's where I would be. Or Camelot. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the music stores always pissed me off though, because they're the mall stores.
Oh.
You know.
little bit of a
at least-
snob to your
Suncoast had
independence.
toys. Well, I had Tower Records, so and
Oh,
not
well.
only did I have Tower Records, one of my buddies worked there. So
Well,
you
that's
know.
different. We only had
Yeah.
Camelot and Sam Goody, so yeah, we didn't have. Well, we
Oh,
had
and
one
we- and
small
we-
independent store in my town, but it
And
was
we had
small.
tons of small independent stores where I
Yeah.
could go find my Depeche Mode rarities,
Yeah.
you know, and my German import CDs.
Do you have listening booths?
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. And
Yep.
even more so, I noticed in the early 2000s, you know, before when Virgin Megastore took over, but then that's when I noticed that listening booths got real popular.
Yeah.
And they were great too, because I mean, how else were you going to find CDs? I have so many
Absolutely.
CDs I bought because I listened to it in store, and I never would have, you know, heard it before. And I was like, I like that. I'm buying it.
What are your
That's why-
thoughts on the movie Empire Records? I'm interested as I write my script for my
love
video.
Empire Records. I celebrate Rex
Rex Manning Day?
every April 8th or
April
whatever
8th,
it is.
yep.
I've watched it every year on Rex Manning Day for years, and
Yeah.
I adore that movie. I bought the DVD when it came out, and it's one of the only DVDs I was very happy to get rid of, because the DVD is the director's extra extended edition.
Oh,
which sucks.
Really?
It sucks. It's got so much extra crap that didn't need to be there. It's
That happens.
terrible.
Sometimes limitations are good. Sometimes
Sometimes
directors,
the edit, they
editors-
got it right the first time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely a fan of the theatrical release. So that's why I stream it instead of bought the DVD. I think the new Blu-ray has the regular edition.
Does it?
I should probably get that. But yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Liv Tyler at her peak.
Yes.
Renee Zellweger at her peak.
Yep.
Robin
Looking to see
Tunney, Robin
Yeah.
Tunney, pre-craft.
I've been told I look like her. When I was younger, I was told I looked like her.
yeah,
a
I could
lot.
see that for sure. Yeah, you definitely had that Robin. Tunney.
Especially when I was younger and had that shorter haircut like she had at the time.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, no, I love Empire Records, and a great soundtrack too. I listened to my ex-wife actually had that soundtrack when we first got together, and I was like, oh, I need this. I took it and
Thank you.
digitized it, and yeah, I don't think she ever did get it back, but yeah, I love the Gin Blossom song. Till I Hear It From You. God,
Yes,
love
Till
that
I Hear It From You. Mhm.
so much.
That's a good one.
I have that on it's in heavy rotation in my algo on YouTube.
Nice.
Plays all the time. It's a great video too. It's so weird.
All right. We're going to watch one final video. We're going to watch a couple of news reports from NBC News from 1995 about Generation X and the marketing to us at the time. And then we'll have and then we'll Nelson out of here. I think that's about, and then we'll pick up this conversation next Tuesday at 7:00. And keep going, and we'll get to this chapter. But this chapter I knew this was going to be a big chapter. I didn't think it'd take me 3 weeks to get through it, but it's gonna because there was just so much. It's just so dense of a chapter as far as because they were writing about their current time, and they were really that this was how they really were able to prove their theory in modern terms. So
And they were dialed in too. I mean, and
they were.
It's
Yeah.
interesting. The one thing I'm noticing here is they're bringing up a lot of quotes that would be relevant to us.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I'm watching them quote Concrete Blonde. You know.
Yeah.
And Jennifer Lynch, and you know,
Mhm.
all these things. It's like,
yeah.
Who's their? They knew who their audience was.
They did,
and it wasn't boomers.
No.
They knew exactly who they were writing to.
Yeah. They were
You
they were really dialed in on our generation. They, like I
They
said,
got-
these guys, these authors were the first. I mean, again, Copeland was a novelist and more of an artist, but as far as like in the world of sociology and in the educational realm, Strauss and Howe were the ones that identified who we were, defined us.
They broke ground in this area in generationology that had not been broken before, and they are the ones who formulated the theories that Pew Research has taken a shit all over.
Exactly.
So,
Yes.
you know, as far as I'm concerned, they're you know, they got it right, and everybody else is just riffing off of them. Did they get everything right? No, they didn't get everything right. And not only that, you think they love us. They love the millennials more.
They do. They absolutely adore.
Blow the millennials in the 430 is here.
Yeah, they do, and they named them. So I think they have a special.
Named them. Yeah, they named them. They're like the millennials are the next coming of God, and you know,
because they were the children of the boomers. They're the
hero
generation.
They're the hero generation. It's like they are invested in the millennials and actually succeeding because it literally proves all of their theories correct.
Right.
So they definitely pumped up the millennials. So if you're not a Gen Xer and you're waiting for them to get to you guys, don't worry. You get plenty.
Yes. Yeah. Yep, you sure do. All right, I'm gonna play that. While I play this, I gotta run out and feed Dale real fast. He came in for dinner, so I'm gonna play this news clip, and I'll be back in like 30 seconds. But I'm gonna play this.
Generation X, born from 1961 to 81, the generation after the affluent, socially conscious baby boomers, the lost generation. It's called.
They think we're lost, but we're just trying to find something better and new.
Television portrays the generation as this dysfunctional group that lives at Melrose Place. At the movies, Xers find reality bites in a world of too much education and too few jobs.
Mr. Spears, do you have any idea what it means to be a cashier at Wiener Schnitzel?
Yeah, it's taking orders and making change.
4 years ago, an author labeled the generation X, and it stuck. Add to that a slew of publications with terms like slacker and 20-nothings, and you get the feeling the nearly 80 million in the generation have no ambition and lots of time to watch MTV.
I don't think we're sitting around bitching and moaning also, which is a big perception that you see on talk shows.
You can't pick up a magazine profiling Kurt Cobain, the leader of a popular band who recently committed suicide, and say this is Generation X. To suggest the generation has one face, one sound, one philosophy is to ignore that it's the most diverse in a century.
We don't have a war. We don't have a depression. We don't have legalized discrimination. We don't have these horrendous and totally visible and identifiable challenges to face.
Eric Liu is a foreign affairs speechwriter for President Clinton, trying to shatter the myth. He started a magazine that gives the generation a chance to define itself.
That's how you get a much more clear, much more comprehensive sense of who we are as a generation.
I'm not interested in...
He started a magazine. Remember when that was a thing?
And getting as much money as possible.
Gen X has no choice. Over the past 2 decades, the median income for people under 30 has dropped more than $4,000.
The economy is so much worse for young people today than it was when I was young that we have to give them credit for finding their own way. We had the counterculture. They have the counter-commerce.
Bill Strauss makes his living analyzing generations. As a member of this Washington comedy group, he makes fun of his own. As a lecturer in high schools, he listens to the woes of the next. Pessimism about institutions like Social Security.
It's going to run out by the time it gets to us.
And marriage. Their boomer parents had the highest divorce rate.
A lot of our parents discovered that it wasn't right. So I don't think any of us expect that it'll be right the first time.
With no big revolution to unite them like the boomers had during the 60s, those of Generation X must focus on smaller, important conquests, like repairing the economy and broken families.
They're not out there trying to save the world as a group. They're out there trying to do individual acts of generosity.
If Generation X can accomplish those things, many believe it will be one of the most influential in history.
Generation X, there are lots of them, and they are consumers. They're smart and television savvy. However, as NBC's Keith Morrison reports tonight, they represent quite a challenge for Madison Avenue.
Way up there in the Manhattan Towers, where marketing gurus poke and prod at American attitudes, they've hit a rather nasty bump. Generation X. The problem is that the 20-somethings, boomerangers, baby busters, whatever these 46 million young souls are called, are turning out to be kind of a hard sell.
They don't know how to get in touch with us.
Television. Exactly. Though advertisers have certainly tried, sweet talking like mad to a group that spends $125 billion. What? $125 billion.
This car is like punk rock.
Just on cars, they spend $15 billion. So when Subaru wanted to sell its new Impreza model, it had the actor say,
Hey, excuse me, but here's what's cool about music, remember? Now,
this was such a bust that Subaru changed ad agencies.
this car's all
It's
about
already a legend among ad
great
people.
about a car.
You're making a very grave mistake if you're trying to make broad assumptions about the psyche of an entire generation. And that's exactly what Subaru did in this ad.
Machinery
Chrysler, on the other hand, hit pay dirt with its neon ads, which stressed simplicity and price. This ad launched orders for almost 200,000 cars.
Say
That
hello
was a
to
big car. I
neon.
remember
We're
that.
being approached as
Neon.
a segment of people to market to advertise to. And what we actually are is a group of people that are immune to advertising.
Immune to advertising? Well, certainly wise to it. By the time he or she has finished high school, an average American kid has watched 350,000 television commercials, a third of a million.
We speak and understand the language of media as natives rather than as immigrants.
Take this beer ad, for example.
About
my Sharon.
This is all image and identity stuff. Rushkoff would say, we know what they're up to, and it won't work.
stop spending your dollars marketing and just start making good stuff. Just give up.
So why did this Generation X ad for a collect call service work very well? Because it was a simple, funny appeal to save money. Perfect for a TV generation inoculated against hype.
Thanks, phone dude.
All the more reason not to try to lump them into one category and insult them and irritate them by presuming that they think and act a certain way.
But it's really about people who are trying to find their own identity.
All of which might explain why Hollywood's crop of Generation X movies have not been doing as well as was hoped. Barely breaking even, mostly. One studio executive saying Hollywood's in trouble if it can't find a way to reach the 20-somethings.
Stepping out.
America Close Up tonight. Back to Generation X and the problems those in it are having trying to find their way.
This was a 3-night series on NBC Nightly News. So they like each night they had a special section about Generation X and our marketing and our generation and all that stuff. So I just kind of cut it to where a little snippets of each night. So that's what this is. A little bit longer.
In very uncertain economic times. Tonight, Chief Financial Correspondent Mike Jensen looks at the workplace these millions of young Americans are either in or entering. It is not necessarily an encouraging picture.
Members of Generation X, born after the baby boomers, are entering a workplace that is dramatically different from the one both the boomers and their parents faced.
The reality is they may not do better than their parents, and this could be the first generation that does that.
Their household income is 8% less than their parents' was at the same age in terms of buying power. They think it will be harder for them to achieve financial security, the new generation said in a Fortune survey. Also to own a single-family home and to pay for their children's college education.
They're a group that's headed from two directions, winners and losers. And the losers are going to be hopeless. They're going to have nowhere to go.
William Bloxham is 28, a high school dropout who does maintenance work in a Virginia apartment building.
I would not be in the situation to where I'm just making ends meet if I had gone to college.
He has a girlfriend and a baby, take-home pay of $325 a week, and limited prospects. About 2/3 of the people in his generation make that kind of money or less. In a country that's building an information superhighway, but not many factories. This is the McJobs generation, menial jobs for people without a college degree and low-wage service jobs for a lot of college graduates. For the most highly educated, the outlook is still wonderful. Lori Lesser is 27 and graduated Phi Beta Kappa from Harvard, then Harvard Law. First-year lawyers at big firms like hers make upwards of $80,000 a year. Less than 1% of those in her generation do that well.
I am very fortunate, and I'm very conscious of how fortunate I am for the education that I have.
The good jobs are tough to get, partly because the corporate world has been racked with mergers and takeovers and downsizings. So many of the new generation are working freelance or starting their own businesses. DeRoy Murdoch is a graduate of Georgetown with a master's degree in business from NYU. He worked at a big ad agency before starting his own business after a corporate cutback.
I really enjoy being able to get up every morning, do my own thing, wear shorts around if I want to do that, and really live life the way I want to rather than the way my boss feels I have to.
For many, that also means getting involved in causes.
People in our generation, the so-called 20-something generation, volunteer at twice the rate that people in the baby boom generation volunteered when they were our age.
They also put very high value on family. Not as many workaholics in this group. It's a generation that is profoundly resentful of a government that has saddled it with a $4.5 trillion national debt and spends 10 times as much on retirees as it does on babies. And of a corporate America that has torn up the old social contract that said, you do right by me and I'll do right by you.
While we were enjoying amazing movies, there we go. We'll watch the rest of it next week.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about that? It's kind of interesting to see them talk about us in 1995 like that. It's wild, isn't it? It's wild.
I mean, it's what they were talking about. That's how they looked at us, and seemed about right to me. I mean, I was making decent money, but I certainly was not making the same kind of money that my parents made. I don't know.
I just wish the young kids today would have some concept of this, understanding that this isn't something new. We have been dealing with this our entire lives, and it's about to come to a head as far as the boomers getting out of power and the next generations taking over. It's just, we've been doing it our whole lives.
It's going to be interesting. Like the more interesting responses are going to come from the millennials rather than us.
Agreed.
We're just going to do what we do. You know, we're going to take, if we're able to actually wield power, you know, then we're going to get us out of, our generation is going to get us out of this issue.
Yeah.
Somehow
Agreed.
we're going to figure some shit out, you know.
We're the only ones really who can, I think.
Right. Millennials, on the other hand, you know, they're now getting to be, you know, the oldest millennials are in their 40s. They've got their heads in the sand as a bunch of ostriches because they've been, you know, they've had this sheltered life their entire lives, and as adults, they were infantilized, you know, infantilized.
They were
as adults even.
Yes.
So we're pinning a lot of our hopes on a group of people who, let's face it, probably aren't going to be able to come to the game to play. You know what I mean?
I mean, some of them will. I don't want to be general.
I can't.
Same with boomers as millennials. It's like you're gonna have your best of best rise to the top, assuming. Right. But I just, where are they? You know, where are they?
They're not anywhere.
Right.
They're not anywhere. There aren't any prominent millennials who are in, you know, who are making waves, who are doing anything noteworthy. I don't.
Yeah.
Who are our prominent millennials?
I know.
Somebody tell me, please.
Zuckerberg would be the only one that I could come up with, but even that is, I don't know. You know, I don't know.
Zuckerberg is going to be an afterthought in 10 years.
Probably.
We're going. His Facebook Meta is already such an afterthought.
It is. I know.
God, he's that man has done everything he could to just ruin his entire life, and he doesn't even see it. You know, how bad is it when Jesse Eisenberg, for Christ's sake, does not want to come back and play you in the movie sequel to the role that like made Jesse Eisenberg a fucking superstar? Right.
Yeah.
How much do you suck if he doesn't want to do that? Because they said, "Oh, you want to come back here? We'll give you, 10 shares of Amazon." I don't know.
I don't know. It's weird because to start something when you're 19, 20 years old and have it turn into what it's turned into, that would be a weird thing. I mean, for real, he started a website in his college dorm room, and I can't imagine there was any forethought into that as far as like, I could be wrong. But
the thing is that's how Google started. That's how YouTube started.
Yeah.
That's how Yahoo started back in the
Right.
day,
Yeah.
Only the big, America Online, CompuServe, those were corporate deals,
Right.
That
is true.
Most of the major shit that is still existing today or started in your fucking garage.
Yep.
Just like Apple computers.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. Which Ricky Nelson song do we want to Nelson out to?
Traveling Man.
Traveling Man. All right. Let me bring it up. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. This was a really good discussion. I really enjoyed.
It always is. We always do.
Yeah.
We bring our A game. I know I'm like starting to I think about what we're going to talk about,
Nice.
I get ready. I groom myself.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. All right. Let's Nelson. We're going to Nelson out of here in a very unique way tonight.
We're going to do daddy. We're going to do their daddy.
Yes. And this was at the end of a TV show that we're not going to mention because it's the secret word.
Right. Yeah, this is actually from the show. Yeah.
Yes, that's how they made him a pop star. Was they would have him sing at the end of episodes, and so he'd be on TV.
That was a good thing with TV back in the day when they would act. Remember, like the Monkees would have a song every week, and the Partridge Family would always have a song, and
even the Brady Bunch got in on the act and had a few songs, and then all the variety shows that were on in the 70s.
I know.
It's an insane amount of variety shows in the 70s.
I was thinking about that. Hannah Waddington did a variety show like a couple of years ago when Ted Lasso got really, really huge.
Mm-hmm.
She did this like Christmas variety show like back in the old times. It was amazing.
Oh, that
you
sounds
should check
awesome.
it out. I think it's on Apple.
Okay,
that's where Ted Lasso is.
That would make sense. Yeah, I'll check that out.
It's a great like hour-long show, and she brings people on. It's a classic style celebrity variety show done in the 21st century with an amazing performer because she can sing.
Yeah, she can. She's an amazing singer, an absolutely amazing singer.
And all of the Ted Lasso people show up.
Oh, that's even better. And Jason Sudeikis does a charity event that's not on TV, but does a variety type show in Kansas City every year that Hannah's been at and I've seen. But she's an amazing singer.
How much are we all praying for the Muppet Show to come back too?
Huh? Oh, I get nervous when anything comes back because it's never.
Yeah, but
never like I remember.
The one episode they did was pretty good. I wouldn't mind seeing it again.
I love
it come back. I don't give a crap about Sabrina Carpenter, but that's the thing is I didn't give a crap about half of the people who were on the first time. I didn't even know who they were.
Just want the Muppets.
Yeah, I just don't care about the Muppets. I just wanted to see Animal. Now the hardest part for me as a longtime Muppet fan is going like my favorite Muppet. I hate to say it, but my favorite Muppet is Pepe, and he is a post-Jim creation.
Oh,
so anytime I go back and watch old Muppets, he's not there.
He's not
because
there.
He didn't exist.
I'm sorry.
And so it's just he is my all-time favorite Muppet. I something about him. I buy every bit of Pepe merch I can find. I have a Pepe plush. He is my favorite. I have his book somewhere he wrote a book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's hard out here for a shrimp. I fucking love Pepe.
That's good.
Like I said, he's post Jim, so it's like my Muppet fandom is torn in half.
I can that'd be rough.
Well, Jim is Kermit,
By the way, your language has been quite salty this evening. If I get in trouble, I'm gonna let you know.
All right. No, I appreciate that. Sorry about that.
I don't mind. I personally don't mind. But I don't know what the YouTube rules are as far as like, Yeah,
But
I
I'll
mean,
keep
you know,
I'll keep it
yeah.
G-rated.
I don't usually monetize my live stream, so it's not a big deal. But
no,
like,
but we don't want anything to happen to this lovely live stream. So
that's true. We don't.
I'll be on my best behavior. I apologize.
I appreciate that.
I'm having a good time, so it gets salty.
I know, and that's why, and that's fine. Like
Yeah.
again, I personally don't mind. I just don't know what the YouTube rules are. Also, I have put my Discord link in the chat. If you guys have not joined my Discord server yet, please do so. We are watching some amazing stuff over there. Tomorrow night we're watching Little House on the Prairie, Cobra Kai. Thursday we're watching Incredible Hulk and Las Vegas. On Friday, my so-called live stream has moved over to the Discord, and it's a blast. It's so much fun.
Oh man, we had way too much fun this week.
Yeah, way too much fun. So if you haven't joined the Discord yet, do so. Otherwise, if you are a channel member, the monthly member live stream is this Sunday. I'm going to be giving you a tour of my hometown, and I know. And then we're going to watch a movie over on the Discord afterwards. So, and then next Monday is Monday night at the movies. We're watching Old School and a good old fashioned orgy. And then we'll be back here for the book club next Tuesday. So a lot of stuff going on the channel between YouTube and Discord. So definitely come hang out with me.
And sometime in there, you got to
stuff.
put up your plaque too.
I know. Yeah, it's still back there on the tripod, but I'll figure it out as to where to make its permanent home. The pods it real fast just so we don't get kicked off right at the very end.
Yeah. And boy, this song is really not PC, is it?
No. It's all right. I'm not PC either. Really quick. Very handsome man. Yeah, there was a reason he was the original teen idol.
Man, you know, and let me tell you something. That black and white footage, there's something about it, you know? There's just something about black and white. It's so crisp.
Yes.
It's so clean.
It looks good. This is a really there's something about black and white that I just really love. And it's funny because when I was younger, I didn't feel that way, but now I love it. It doesn't bother me at all when things are in black and white, and they look really, really nice. If you get a good copy of something.
Not to go off too far on a tangent, but that new show Spider Noir, it's Spider-Man Noir.
Mm-hmm.
It comes and you can actually watch it in color or black and white.
Really?
Yeah. We watched it in black and white. I love it.
I think I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, the color was really interesting because it was like because they made it look like they colorized black and white. You know, remember when they would do that when they took the Maltese Falcon and colorized it?
Yep, when Ted Turner did all that.
Yeah, and it looked really weird. So I was I watched it in black and white, but it's actually really well worth watching. Nicolas Cage is great. Sorry about that.
Right on.
But check that out if you want to see. And the cool thing is you can actually go back and forth in a scene if you want to. It's pretty quick. So you can be like, I wonder what that looks like in color. Boop.
That's cool. That's cool. I like that.
I like that.
Yes, he was very handsome. I'm telling you guys, you're gonna really enjoy this book.
And he could sing too, man.
Yes.
Their whole family is talented beyond belief.
Yeah, they did amazing things. They were groundbreakers in the industry of television and in music. And you're really gonna enjoy this book. I cannot wait for us to get to it because it's so good.
and then we get to diss on their mom the whole time.
Yes, we do.
And I know some people in the chat are going to be really happy about that for some reason. I can't wait to mess up with what's her name, Chris
Harmon. Yeah.
Fucking forget.
Yeah. Yep. All right, guys, let's Nelson out of here. My cat's wanting to. Thank you so much, Grendelson.
Hey, it's my pleasure. Every week.
Great night. Yes.
It's the highlight of my week. So let's keep it coming, you know, and I will keep the salty language to a
a little less salty.
You gotta call me out. I don't even realize it. So
I know you didn't. And again, I wasn't mad about it. It's YouTube, not me. Yeah. Thank you, Andre, for joining us and finding us. I'm so excited.
Oh my God, come back and join us next week. And
next
don't
Tuesday.
Forget to put the name of that television show that the clip just came from.
Yes.
In the chat, so you can be entered to win a copy of the book that we're going to be reading in a couple of months, which we are going to have super duper fun time for.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun. This is going to be so good.
I can just totally see the book club tripling in size.
I think you're right. I think people
we're
are
gonna
gonna
bring
love this.
in. I think they're like, we're tired of you talking about Gen X. Let's talk
Yeah.
about Nelson. We're here for Nelson. Damn it.
We're going for a Gen X autobiography, and it's
Mhm.
and they talk about being Gen X. I
Mhm.
mean, it's
perfect.
definitely a part of the book, so it's perfect. It's a perfect book club book. So
it's perfect. And not only that, there's a lot of other really good. I'm sure there's a bunch of good Gen X biographies we can find.
Yes, that's probably the route I'll go with.
I think that's a great idea. Let's do some Gen X biographies for a while.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I'm down.
All
for
right. Oh, yeah. Well, thank you everyone so much. I appreciate it. Everyone have a great night. If I don't see you before next Tuesday, have a wonderful, happy 4th of July and celebrating America 250. You guys have a great week, a great weekend, and I will see you all when I see you. Thank you, Grendelson.
Friday,
Thank you, everybody.
Discord. Yeah, peace.
Woo. Okay, bye.